Damn, dude.
Is that your sponsor now? That peppermint sitting there, leaving it out. Let the people see. Damn, you got peppermint. Matt brought like peppermint smelling salt.
Well, yeah, it's peppermint oil.
Does that come with your fucking crystals?
So
They start giving you oils and crystals.
So here's what happened.
Wait till you get into astrology, dude.
I've been into astrology, dude.
Astrology. I know. What's wrong with you, dude? You got dunkum on the brain.
I have peppermint oil in my eyes, dude. It burns. So I started reading the book Breathe. You know the guy who was on Rogi's podcast? My eye's going to be like, I'm going to have Cyclops eye the whole podcast. So the guy Breathe who was on Rogi's podcast.
Yeah.
I started reading his audiobook.
You're all about breathing?
Life-changing, dude.
You got to clear up the nasal
Not
passages.
just nose breathing specifically.
Yeah.
How's your nose breathing? So I have a new. What's that deviated at?
Deviated's rough, dude.
Hear this airflow? That's probably about. I probably got 70% blockage right there. I was at 80. So my new quest right now is I'm going to cure my deviated septum without a septoplasty.
How? Just sniffing oils?
Well, it's a couple things. I'm going to do this helps. This helps me just do nose
It's on the
breathing.
front of my nose right now.
Yeah,
it kind of burns, dude. This shit sucks.
No, it's good for you, dude. You got to deviate it. Dude, are you nose breathing all the time, all day, every day?
No.
Good
Rarely.
luck, dude. Good luck.
Rarely, yeah.
I've been like about
big fat mouth breather, dude.
I've been 4 or 5 days straight, dude. It's just disease. You should know from researching the Native Americans. That was the Native American secret. They were nose breathers.
They did well against disease.
Yeah,
well,
they didn't have it until a bunch of mouth breathers came in and fouled up the whole scene.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, they
and they got chlamydia. Chlamydia ran through them, dude.
Can't blame them. Happens to the best.
True.
Happens to the best and most noble. But no, that's that's how I'm gonna get on Gaia. I'm gonna cure my deviated septum.
You got me fired up on
just
Native
by
Americans,
breathing.
dude. You should have mentioned Native. I forgot about Native Americans. I am like a fucking love on the spectrum date. I'm on dates like, have you heard of the Comanche? Did you know they were bad?
That show I've decided is that French dish where you have to like put a napkin over your head
Yeah,
while
the
you just
bird.
kind of like eat a bird.
Yeah.
You have to hide from God. Yeah. That's that French dish of
Me
TV.
and Phil watched it. I showed it to Phil.
Dude, I put a towel over my head and I just watch it on my. I pretend I'm just like laundry on my couch. I'm like, puh, puh.
Yeah, Phil watched it and was like, "Oh."
Well,
Every time they show somebody, like, "Oh."
Well, that's the thing. I watch that show and I go back and forth between being like, that's the funniest thing I've ever seen, like wanting to cry. Then they interview their dad and their dad's like, I've come a long way. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah, it's a sad.
And then they like just say something ridiculous on a date. And he's like, I'm waiting patiently. And you're like, did you see that episode?
Was that, the kid on the...
Oh, that was my fit. I've been so...
The hibachi?
Yeah, when they're at the hibachi and she busts out the Nintendo GameCube.
Yeah.
And she was like, I hate waiting. And he was like, I'm waiting patiently. It was like,
Yeah.
Dude, I was in the shower just saying that to myself. I don't know what made me laugh about that.
He got up and did a fucking testimonial like during the date. He got up, walked over to the camera, and was just like, well, she doesn't like anime. This thing's not going great. She was like, I like anime. Just directly in front of her.
Dude,
this fucking arm.
I'm telling you, man. Sorry that arm's acting.
It bothers me.
Dude, so I've been just breathing through my nose at nighttime. In order to do it, you got to put tape on your mouth. Dude, I woke up. They say first couple nights.
You're taking like edgy comic headshots at night. Like putting like tape over your mouth like, caution, dude. Who knows what's coming out? I could say anything. Neuters. turns out that was the bad one. Yeah.
First couple nights are scary. You wake up and you're like, because it gets blocked up at nighttime. And you just wake up and you're just like, it's popping. Dude, I've made it longer every night. I'm telling you, I'm going to cure. I already went to what the fuck's it called? An otolaryngologist, something like an ear, nose, and throat guy.
Yeah.
They told me I was at an 80% blockage. You hear me right now. I don't sound like I'm at 80%.
Sound great.
I sound like I'm at maybe 65.
Yeah.
Maybe 70.
Great.
That's air good. Coming in. I used to not be able to get air. I've so far, I think I've given myself 15% less. I think I've reduced the blockage. From peppermint, from strictly nose breathing. Because, dude, if you're nose breathing all day, every day, like water will erode like rocks. So if you're just bringing in like little water particles all day, every day, it'll push that little sucker back.
Who told you that? Because that's
this is
the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
No, dude, I breathe nose all day long.
You think moisture, air molecules are going to...
It rearranges,
erode your nose.
If you just nose breathe, it rearranges your whole facial structure. So I'm telling you, I'm gonna get myself down. I think to like 50% obstruction. Have the ear, nose, and throat guy put it on the record, and then I'll be like, all right, go ahead with the rest of the rhinoplasty and knock that thing.
You want to do it yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I could do it myself, but at this point, it's like I'll get to 50 just to get on Gaia. Then once I get on Gaia, I'll be like, yo, Joe Dispenza, what's up, bro?
So you're gonna go on Gaia to talk to. You think you need your nose reconstructed?
You need a
to
miracle.
Get on Gaia?
Yeah, you need to have like a miracle under your belt before you write your book. Like heal yourself with your brain. The one guy actually like became paraplegic and he can walk again. But if I kind of edge in on the deviated septum market, and it was just like,
what did he get paraplegic from?
I think he just got whacked by a car, and like he was like fucked up.
Dude, there was a player from Penn State who got paralyzed against Ohio State, and then they were like, he'll never walk again, and then he ran the team out of the tunnel the next season, or like 2 seasons, but they played Miami that day and just got beat by like 50. So they had this like real inspirational moment of him running out, and then the U just fucked him up. Fun times.
At least he still could play.
He couldn't play.
He sucked.
He could barely. No, he couldn't.
Oh,
walk.
so he kind of
he hobbled out. I thought
he like played and got smashed. I'm like, give him a fucking break, dude.
He used to play. He was pretty good.
So he did. He just like
came in with his head down against Ohio State, and then he rooted. Yeah, and then he led the team. More radio-esque.
Yeah,
more of a radio.
Gotcha.
Because Rudy could play.
True. So they were like, we'll get up by like 40 and then put him in at the end, and like everyone will hoist him on their shoulders.
No. There was no even no. There was no. He didn't play again. He led the team out the next season.
So he walked,
just jogging out.
I hear you
to
saying.
Display. He couldn't. He wasn't in pads.
So it was a miracle. But
it was a miracle, but then they got fucking.
Then they
smoked.
got crushed.
So it kind of ruined the.
Yeah.
Especially because then you rewatch it and he like hobbles out, fucked up.
Yeah.
And then they just get smoked. Anyway.
Yeah, that's kind of fucked up on his teammates to lose that one for him.
Yeah.
I would have fought extra hard.
You have to fight extra hard.
I would have dug it out, dude. If you got fucking hobbled up, I'd be podcasting my ass off, dude, just to fucking. If you Hawkins'd out and I had to do this whole thing, I would never lose, dude.
I just came in like,
he's dead, right?
Black people are lazy.
Man.
But yeah, there's sick Native American facts. Now you got me fired up.
What you get fired up?
Also, common misconception that they had cool names.
Don't take that from me,
bro. You know they do have some cool names like Crazy Horse, shit like that. There was also guys like Peanuts and Stink and Erection that never goes down.
That's actually pretty cool.
This white lady she got taken, and then she had 3 kids, and their names were Stink and Peanut. They were like, here's my awesome warrior, Stink, and his brother, Peanuts.
It makes sense, though. They would have, like, white trash nicknames.
Yeah.
Because,
they basically, you got, like, Rucker Park named.
Did you really?
You know what I mean? Like, so they would just give you a name. You do something wild, and they'd just name you. Like, some lady got abducted and then had diarrhea the whole way because they fed her, like, buffalo, like, raw. They gave her, like, a buffalo's, like, heart to eat, to munch on during the journey, and she just diarrheaed the whole way. So her name was, like, Diarrhea.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't think they were working with like a robust vocabulary either.
No.
So it was just like Crazy Horse, Stink, Fart, Boner. You were just like one. It was
they had a chief.
It's like being Irish and being like John, Luke,
for real. Yeah,
Matthew.
there's like 5 names.
There's just 5 names. There was Stink, Boner, Diarrhea, and then you were the chief, and you're like, all right, I call.
Change my name.
Super Crazy Man Horse. I'm Thundercat.
Fuck
Sydney read that book. Sydney was talking.
Really?
He was like all over that, dude. He was
book rules.
Yeah, he was saying, he's like, you got to do it. And it's like, oh, I will after I fucking heal myself through breathing. Dude, this book it's awesome, man.
Breathe.
I can't recommend it enough. So apparently the inside of your nose is made out of dicks. It's the same type of skin as your dick. So it expands, it contracts. Like when you're aroused, that's why women's typically, their nostrils flare. If a woman gets like kind of turned on, her nose goes, exactly, dude, stop, dude. Dude, you're going to get a boner if you keep doing that. It's literally made out of dick skin. So your nose like contracts and expands with your arousal.
Isn't your nose made out of cartilage?
I'm talking about the inner stuff.
It's just dick skin.
It's the same type of material as dick skin.
What are your eyelids made out of? That feels like dick skin. You know what I mean?
It's ball sack. It's all ball sack up here. Eyelids are all ball sack, dude.
Fuck yeah.
But yeah, dude, I'm going for it. I'm gonna get rechecked out because I know I got 80%. I'll probably clock in around 70. I also every now and again I put my finger up my
Before
nose.
the podcast, Matt was like, "This is gonna be the best episode ever."
It is.
He just hits me with rhinoplasty.
Dude, I'm telling you. Before,
He's like, "Yo, I got this."
dude. That's a fucking miracle. I brought a miracle
I
on the
believe
cast.
you. I'm
you're
sorry.
you're the Miami Hurricanes, dude. I'm hobbling out on the
Joe,
field. I'm a miracle,
You're
dude.
Sebastian Telefero. I think that was his name.
So then I go. The other thing I do is, so I just strictly nose breathe, and it's been feeling a lot better. Every now and again, Brady doesn't like it. I'll put my finger like this. I'll feel the deviation. I
Yeah, you can feel
now.
it. Mine's
Dude,
arced in.
Just a push. Oh, feel it moving. Then it get some air up there, dude. Pretty tight. People are gonna think we're just doing a bunch of coke, but we're not. We're smelling peppermint, and I got punched in the nose a bunch of times.
Really? You think that's what did it?
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I've got clogged
I don't know why
nose.
I have it.
It's a bunch of
I've
stuff.
been hitting
dude.
the nose a bunch, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably football, dude. You use a face mask.
No, I've been punched in the nose.
Exactly. Think about all the times
Yeah.
your eyes watered from getting hit in the nose.
Oh, basketballs.
Yeah.
Oh, that was the
It's a
worst.
deviation, dude.
God, especially when you got shitty hands.
Yeah.
Just standing there, ball goes straight through your hands, hits you in the fucking face. Then you cry. You have to cry.
Yeah, or
When you
take
get hit in
yeah.
the nose, you have to cry.
It's like a
Your
silent cry timeout. You're like,
eyes- all your friends see you crying. Oh man,
I've only played like organized ball.
what do you mean?
I played like CYO
Yeah, that's what I mean.
basketball. Oh, I thought you were talking about it's like street basketball.
No, you're
I
friends.
I just played CYO.
I was friends with my teammates.
I was more organized.
I was more friends with my teammates.
Were you really?
Yeah, dude.
What was the
my
highest
whole
level of
squad.
basketball you played?
I quit after freshman year. I played freshman.
That's,
Played freshman ball and then focused strictly on football.
yeah, I tried out for
And track.
sophomore ball and got cut, so I played at a higher level. I feel like.
Oh no, I did play CYO like my junior and senior year. Just fucking around.
Oh, for sure.
Like
Yeah.
fucking around. CYO, yeah. Those are the days, dude.
Dude, playing CYO high school basketball.
CYO is so fun.
That might be some of the best ball you can play.
It's the funniest
Playing like
ball.
Catholic League CYO.
Yeah,
with
all
your
the
boys.
kids that weren't good enough to play on the team, but were all dickheads and friends. Dude, we would beat the fuck out of some team. I remember some of my friends were very good, and they would like do ruck apart. Like they would throw the ball off people's foreheads and shit. Yeah, like start fights with the other parents. Yeah, we used to play a game after. We used to play a game. We'd turn the lights off in the locker room and throw sneakers at each other as hard as we could. But we'd all make a deal to just throw them at one kid that we didn't like.
Yeah.
So we'd turn the lights off and just everyone would just belt this fucking kid. Yeah, fun times.
That's what sports are all about. The
Yeah.
whole point of sports is to like psychologically torture somebody.
Yeah, just find a
one
kid,
person. Just
yeah.
find one person. and
Find
just
one
absolutely
kid
break
whose
them down.
parents are like making them play
Yeah,
and just getting his ass.
yeah. We had a homeschooler on our baseball team
Oh,
in
disgusting.
8th grade. Well, now that's going to be the norm. Everyone's
No,
going to be
homeschooling-
weird as fuck.
Yeah, true.
This dude was a homeschooler. I don't know what the fuck his parents were thinking. They entered him into the school system at like 7th, 8th grade. It was fucking chum, dude. People were like,
Oh,
you just like would see him walk, and you're like, what the fuck is up with that kid? Like,
Oh.
I have to throw something at this kid just to see what's going on with him.
they put him in 7th and 8th grade.
Dude, he,
just
like,
right when he was coming.
Dude, he came in with like a Dr. Seuss nerd walk, and everyone was just
Oh.
like, what the fuck is this? It was to the point a hit list was made. This was like an extreme bully situation. I mean, dude, he was on a baseball team. So you were just like, dude, people are woofing balls. Like, you'd be on first base, fucking, you'd be at shortstop, and you basically pitch. And you'd be like,
He made a hit list?
He made a hit list, yeah. I was number 3.
You were on the hit list?
I was number 3.
Nice, man.
3. I made 3rd.
That's
I made
good.
3rd on his hit list.
In elementary school, in middle school, they wrote an article in the paper about me being a bully.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah,
Pretty
dude.
good. That counts as like
You
top
got- you
5
got
on a
ink?
list.
You got
I
ink?
got publication, dude. I've only ever gotten negative press, dude. I've only ever gotten
was the
horrible
article?
press. Well, there was a kid that used to get on our bus, and I used to call him Arthur because he had an Arthur book bag. I was being nice to the fucking
That's actually
kid.
pretty. That's not bad.
I didn't think it was mean, but
Yeah.
I guess the kid was tortured by it, dude. He was tormented by being called Arthur. And one day the principal called me to the office and had like a sit down, and like I had to talk to the kid. I think I talked to the kid's parents, and then like the next month in the school newsletter, it was like bullying handled, and they wrote an article about it.
What?
Yeah, dude.
You gotta
It's
get
like
that.
we had an 8th grader who was a real dickhead.
You gotta get that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was regrettably, I was a hard bully. I was a super hard bully.
not
for-
regret, no regrets.
Up until
being a bully when you're a kid is fun. I mean,
it's
it's not,
no
like
choice.
it's not like I was hitting kids.
kind of born in. Yeah.
Yeah, like
I wasn't
just
hitting-
my friends.
Yeah.
I wouldn't bully the weaker.
No, I was. I had a couple of the Uyghurs, dude. In my I had a
The
couple of
Uyghurs.
I had a couple of the Uyghurs.
Who'd you get?
It wasn't even. I was never malicious. There was people that like. It was just the reactions were so funny, and it was just you couldn't stop like doing it.
Of course.
That was the kid who punched me in the face before biology. I was just giving him soft touches. You know when you go to give someone a titty twister, but you just soft touch their tits, and they're like,
Yeah.
I hit him with a soft touch, and he did like full like $80 an hour taekwondo on me. He used nerd karate on me, and he just struck me in the face twice, and I was
He did a combo on you?
he did a combo, dude. Literally low knee punch, and I was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And then I realized like, "Oh shit, I think this kid's actually upset." So then I kind of started like, all right, dude, I'm going to help you out. But I ended up just getting him in a fight with another kid.
Oh, all right, good. I remember this. Good. That's the sweetest revenge.
That was a
That's the
different
sweetest
fight.
revenge.
No, that wasn't my. It was my
You're
mistake.
crying.
I have fucking
Eye drops.
peppermint in my eye, dude.
Teardrops are falling from your face, dude.
That's how remorseful I am. But yeah, the
Single tear.
I was
like that
actually
Native
trying to
American.
help him. I was actually trying to help him. I'm like, look, you got to fuck this kid up. Who was like, actually fucking with him.
Yeah.
And he got in a fight and lost. And
Didn't he get his ass kicked?
Yes, fucking ass handed to him, dude. And I was like, oh, shit, dude, you got it. But then someone started calling him and leaving threatening voicemails, and the principal called me down and was like, I'm going to expel you. We know it's you. We have you on camera at the payphone. And it was just like, I knew who did it. And I was like,
You didn't rat him out, dude.
nah.
Couldn't
It was a
rat him
kid he
out.
fought on the bus. But yeah.
He was calling him.
He told me. And I was just like,
He's leaving him voicemails?
He was calling. This kid who ended up fighting, because I actually then bullied that kid and was like, oh, that dude won. You fucking lost your pussy.
Sick move.
So I had psyoped that. Really trying to help this kid. I just made his life just worse and worse. Because then I psyoped that kid and be like, yo, you lost, and told everyone, like, yo, you got your fucking ass kicked by, like, a pretty, like, hard level nerd.
Here's what you are, dude. You're an energy vampire. I just figured this out. I am too, dude. There's a show. You ever see the movie What We Do in the Shadows?
Mm-mm.
Dude, there's a show. It's on FX. It's on Hulu now. It fucking rules. It's hilarious. It's so funny. But there's a dude who's he's an energy vampire. So the rest of them are like classic vampires. And there's one guy that just looks like a dork from an office. And the way he gets his power is he drains you. So like he'll come in and be like, Dilly Dilly, how was your weekend? And people are just like, oh. And then it'll cut back to him and he's like, he's just, but the best part is he'll just start a fight and then sit in the room next door and just be like, yes,
like,
all the negative energy. And I was like, damn, dude, I'm definitely just an energy vampire. Like just start a fight and leave and sit there and hear screams and be like, yes.
Well, it was so funny because back then, too, I just wasn't, like, I would start a fight and just ruthlessly crush people and then be like, that was awesome. Like, that was so funny. They freaked out. In my head, there was not a shred of being like, is this okay? It was just kind of like, this is great. I can't believe I got those guys to fight. Dude. But then he started calling this person's house and being like, where's your son?
So he was basically on the CB, like that one dude. Not like, I'm going to fucking cut your head off.
Yo, he was calling and they'd be like, this is blah, blah, blah's parents. And he'd be like, fuck you, you fucking pussies. I'm going to kill you. He was saying, like, he was talking shit to, like, this kid's dad, like, ruthlessly from a payphone.
Oh my god, this kid's awesome.
From the school.
Is he all right? How's he turned out?
He's a rough one, dude.
He has to be rough.
That was the kid who came up to me at the stop hop and told me he was on ecstasy, and I punched him in the stomach.
Why'd you punch him?
Because in my head, because I heard like you feel everything, and I'm like, yo, is it like crazy? He's like, yeah, dude. I was like, bam, and just punched him in the stomach, and he was just like, oh, what the fuck?
Ruined his eye.
Dude, I was thinking about what a dickhead I was. I was doing the dishes, and I was like, I had like a vivid memory of reading. I remember reading the science book and seeing Homo sapiens when I was little, and being like, oh my god, she's gonna say homo in school tomorrow, and just like waking up, being like, and like eating my breakfast and being like, fuck science classes third period. I remember waiting for like 24 hours, and then hearing her say Homo sapiens and being like.
And no, did anyone go with you?
My cousin was definitely down.
Cousin.
I called on the way to the bus. I'm like, yo,
Dude.
teacher's going to say homo today. And he's like, get the fuck out. I'm like, dude, I read the
Just
science.
watch.
They say it. Dude, I'm just sitting there like. I was doing dude, I like vividly remember that. Being like stoked.
It's
game
day.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah, this is what we play for.
Teacher's going to say homo.
Yeah, this is game day. All that work. Now let's have fun today.
I was doing the dishes at 34, and I was like, that was hilarious. that was so funny.
Dude. I think in like third or fourth actually 5th grade, we had somebody come in to give us like a sex ed class type thing. And I remember writing a question so he would have to say gay. I wrote a question. I said, can boys like other boys? And he was like, now. He walked over to me and was like, did you write that? Because he knew it was me. And I was like, yes. And he was like, I had to stay in character, dude. I had to be like, yes, I wrote it. And he was like, do you really want to know that answer? And I was like, yes. And he was like, those are called homosexuals. I had to like stay in character like, oh, how about that? That's something you don't learn every day. Which is so funny because that dude obviously knew I was being an asshole. He just had to watch a 5th grader pretend to be like, yes. Yes. Yeah, that was the one, dude. Yes. Yes. Do you really want to know this answer? Yes.
I think I'm OD'd on peppermint, dude. So fucking funny.
Dude, that's crazy. It's crazy we both have that origin story. Like trying to make someone say gay. And being like, cool. Got him.
That was my whole agenda for the day. I was like, teacher's going to say gay. I'm going to look around, make eye contact with as many people as I can.
Oh, fuck, dude.
Man.
No, what's funnier than school, dude? School.
Grade school is so
Oh, my God.
funny.
My one friend, Dusty, used to pass gas, and he would say that. He'd be like, who do you want me to pass this to? And then he would get up and fart on their desk. It would be so loud, dude. So loud. Fuck.
Oh, it's so funny. It's just so funny
man.
because as a teacher, you like clearly know whatever.
You see exactly. Yeah, he walked straight to me and was like, did you write that question?
You also know, too, there's just like stuff going on in their house just isn't good.
Oh,
You're like sitting there and the guy comes in, he's like, say gay. And you're like, come on, man, what the fuck? What events have transpired to charge you up enough to get in here to try to like completely revel in the fact that I'm saying homo sapiens?
Oh, man. My sister was talking about your bus stop. She was laughing about it, dude. Yeah, the day that homosexual was coming, the bus stop must have been rowdy.
Dude,
you and your shitty hill
well,
people.
it's also like I read the book. I go to my brother. I'm like, dude, what this about? He's like, yeah, dude, Homo sapiens. You're a Homo sapien. It's like, I'm a fucking Homo sapien. He's like, you're a fucking Homo. I'm like, fuck, dude.
Dad, am I a Homo sapien? He's like, yeah. Fuck.
I don't think my dad would even know who that was. If I was like, am I a Homo sapien? He'd be like, hey,
No son of mine.
Come on.
You goddamn Homo
Go sit
sapien.
down. Don't be a smart ass.
You've been hanging out with your sisters too much. Playing with the dolls.
I don't know if my dad would have known what a Homo sapien. If I said Homo sapien, he'd have been like, cool it.
Cool. Knock it off, dude. Look at that, cracking open a cold one, dude.
This is plain seltzer,
Doing
dude.
coke and drinking. Matt's changed.
Please, dude.
To the audio listener.
Ooh, man.
Bro,
That fucking-
little off topic and significantly less funny, but
Please, we got
I cried the other day watching a 30 for 30 on ESPN.
What was it?
Phil was in the kitchen. Luckily, he didn't see, but I think he heard a voice crack. I think he heard a voice crack. Dude, there's a documentary. It's called 42-1. It was Buster Douglas beating Mike Tyson.
Really?
You want to get your fucking juices flowing?
What happened?
Buster Douglas was like a could have been great heavyweight. That was like he would show up out of shape. He was kind of like a bum, but he was like he could have been great. Like he was a monster, and he fought Tyson in his prime. He was the guy who beat Tyson first.
Okay.
And he was 42-1 odds. That's why it was called that. But they were like, every announcer was like, this isn't going to go past the first round, all that shit. In training, Buster Douglas's mom died like 2 weeks before. And there was just cool-ass fucking moments in it where, like, he was talking to his mom. His mom called him before the fight and was like, don't do this. Like, he's going to fucking – that's Mike Tyson in his prime. Like, he's killing everybody. First-round knockouts every single time.
don't fight
like, scary. And then Buster Douglas was on the phone with his mom, and he's like, Mom, you should fucking call him. I'm gonna beat his ass. And he was like, as soon as he said that to his mom was like, he sounds like his daddy now. He's a man. And she was like going around like, my son's about to beat Tyson's ass. Like everybody at work, all that. Then she died, and then he won. He just fucked him up. Well, he didn't fuck him up. He got tagged too. Mm-hmm. It was great. I mean, it's an awesome fight. I immediately watched the fight.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
Dude.
Well, Tyson apparently, he didn't train as hard. He was like. It was supposed to be a tune-up fight. It was just a tune-up fight for.
He was Apollo.
Holyfield, yeah, and then he got laid out. It's fucking sick. It was the first time anybody knocked him down.
Damn,
it was awesome. And then in the ring after, they're like, "How do you feel?" And he's like, "This is for my mom." And I was just like,
he Rockied basically. Yeah, man, that's
Just got hit hard with
That
it.
would
And
get
Phil
you.
was like, "What are you watching?" I was like, "It's called 42 to 1." It was one of those. Had to hide it.
that's the only thing.
He
you
was
can
like,
cry.
"Buster Douglas, he's a bitch. He's tough." That was it.
He was probably crying. He was probably like crying, eating bologna. Be like, "What are you watching? He's a bitch."
Yeah. He's like, "I'll tell you what, he's a bitch." He says that as a compliment.
Yeah.
Like tough.
a
Speaking of a bitch, Tybalt.
What happened?
Tybalt's a bitch, dude.
What
My
did-
cat.
What's he doing?
He's an apex predator, dude.
Did he get?
So I was
anything?
watching. No, but he went toe to toe with a fox. I was watching TV. It was like 12:30. Everyone's in bed. All of a sudden, I hear a scream from the backyard. This is 2 nights ago.
What?
Like screaming, and I was like, "What the fuck is that?" And I was like, "Oh, that's definitely a fox." Like I could tell it was a fox. And I was like, "Oh shit, Tybalt's outside." So I got like nervous. Grabbed a big flashlight, and I was like, "I'm gonna have to beat a fox to death." Like I was mentally, I was shoeless, ran in the backyard. I was just like, I'm just gonna have to beat a dog to death right now, which is a weird mind space to get in. Like
Yeah.
it is a weird space to be walking out. Like I was adrenaline. I was like, here we go. But Tybalt was just, he was just staring him down, dude. Didn't care less.
Fox was
couldn't care
yapping.
less. The fox was probably like 5 yards, 10 yards away, just like kind of moving back and forth, like screaming at him. And Tybalt was just sitting there, like, what are you gonna do, bro?
Fuck.
What are you gonna do? So then I pick up Tybalt, and I'm like, like not running, but like walking fast, looking backwards. I don't want to get bit by a fox.
No, I'll nip your ankle, dude.
Yeah, it would suck. And then as soon as I put Tybalt down in the house, he just started eating. Didn't give a dude. I put him down. He walked straight to his food and started eating. I was like, dude, you are a monster.
Holy
He
fuck.
didn't care.
That's a
at
fair
all.
fight. Him versus a fox.
Yeah, he's big.
He's
He's got his claws. He's a mean little fucker.
That's a fair fight.
I've done it before. I've walked outside and he got fucked up before.
By what?
I don't know what it was. Probably a fox
By a coyote.
or a raccoon. Something big
Yeah,
got him.
raccoon will
Something
give
big
him.
got him.
Raccoon will give him the business,
Yeah.
dude.
Something fucked him up. Like fucked his legs up. And he shit himself. When they're running away, cats will shit themselves. So I picked him up. He was covered in blood and shit.
Ugh.
Yeah. But this time, not a scratch on him, dude.
Damn.
He literally just sat in the grass, stared at a fox. Couldn't have been prouder of my guy.
He's got to be terrifying at night too. He's jet
He is.
black. So
That's
that
Tybalt.
fox probably just saw glowing eyes and was like, "Fuck, man,
That's the Prince of Cats, dude. That's a big night.
that's big, dude." So that was after 41 and 2.
42 and 1.
42
yeah.
and 1?
There's a big couple days. Phil had to do that once.
What?
Tybalt got in a fight in the front yard with another cat. So it was like, 5, 6 in the morning. You just hear 2 cats screaming. Phil ran down in his whitey tighties. This is like 6 a.m. So people are like walking out to get the newspaper and shit. Like school buses. Phil was out in just his whitey tighties and a fishing rod, swinging at the
That was
cats.
his weapon?
He grabbed a fishing rod from the closet that was right by the door and just started whipping cats. Yeah, man. It's a strong tradition in the Gillis family, too.
Cat whipping?
If your cat's in a fight, you got to jump in, dude.
Oh, my
I was
God.
ready to strangle a fox.
You have to, man. You got
That
to.
would've sucked.
We have a possum on the loose, and I mean, it like through a chain link fence. It stared down my dog.
I love possums.
They're fucking nasty.
No,
dude.
they're funny.
Ugh, they're disgusting.
They are. They're ugly, but I'm a fan.
They're hellish. I saw it skittering around the other day. I was walking home. Brittany called me like the possum's back in the backyard.
Yeah.
Fuck,
Do you
man.
have like a garden or anything?
No, it's just but there's like a ton of there's like a little alley that links a bunch of yards, so it kind of just scoots around. But I saw
It's a
I
good
parked
poss,
my car. I
dude.
saw that poss running across the street, and I was just like, ugh,
You didn't like him.
nasty little.
I'm a
motherfucker.
fan of him. Did I tell you what my roommate did to a possum?
What?
He murdered one.
Okay.
It was in his parents' garden.
Yeah.
But it turns out possums mostly help you.
What do they do?
They mostly eat like the rodents and shit and like
Do they really?
bugs that would eat like tomatoes and shit.
Do they really?
Yeah. So the possum was helping this guy's garden. And my friend he captured it in a cage and wanted to kill it.
Yeah.
So he caught it in a trap, and the way he killed it was he put it in a rain barrel. He did your method, dude.
What's a rain barrel? Oh, he drowned it.
Yeah, he tried to drown it. So he dipped the cage in, and he has pictures of this.
To give it the dunk tank.
He dunked this possum. The possum, he pulled it out after like 5 minutes, and the possum was hanging on still alive. So he went and got a railroad spike and like,
Through the cage?
impaled this possum.
Through the cage?
Yes. And he was showing me this shit. I was like, dude, you're a serial killer. Like,
Hey,
I don't
he's-
like
He's
this.
defending the garden, dude.
he's like in his 30s out back drowning a possum.
Yeah, dude. My brother
Stabbing it.
my brother might get into getting like meat chickens.
Yeah.
He was talking about getting some meat
Oh,
chickens.
you're gonna have some battles, dude.
Well, he already has a
Yeah.
couple chickens, but he was saying like getting them and fucking snapping their necks and shit. And I was like, it's a nice stress reliever. Go outside, like, oh, I'll pick this one.
You fucking
Shut the
piece
fuck up, fucking Christ.
Oh man,
I don't want to go to the fucking mall. And fucking,
you just break it. You remember that Ginty joke?
what?
Ginty had a great chicken joke. He
Did
he was on a date with he was dating this Mexican chick, and she was telling him how they kill the chickens in Mexico is just swing them. So you grab them by the head and just fucking swing them around. And I don't know. His bit was like talking about eating Mexican chickens and it being like, oh, is this free range? He's like, oh, they're fucking everywhere. They're in the streets. And he's like, was it cruel free? He's like, I don't know. How do you feel about swinging? Shout out Ginty, dude.
That's a good
R.I.P.
one.
Where's
Yeah,
he
we're-
been?
I don't know. Shacked up somewhere.
Yeah.
He's an elite, isn't he?
Ginty?
He's an elite.
I don't know if he's an elite.
I
He
think
might
he's
be an
I think
elite.
he's an elite.
He might be.
I think he's probably shacked up. Doing it.
Remember his hidden MAGA hat? He used to wear a black hat that was like embroidered MAGA in the side that you could like hardly see.
I never knew if he was fucking around or
He was serious.
That's
He went to the mall and got that made. Custom. Speaking of, dude.
What?
See where Trump Daddy's thinking about giving a speech.
where.
Hollowed grounds, dude.
He's
Gettysburg.
going to Gettysburg?
I swear to God, he's trying to secure my vote.
I think he's going
like,
just for
he
your vote.
tweeted yesterday and was like, bring back college football. I was like, whew, this is my guy. That's the
Yeah.
only policy I care about. And he was like, I'll probably give a speech down at Gettysburg. I was like, who is this guy?
Yeah, apparently there's he was like,
God damn it.
he's trying to make people pay like generic prices for the COVID thing.
Really?
Yeah, he apparently that's what I've heard. The pharmaceutical companies are mad at him because he was like, when a vaccine comes out, people are just paying generic prices. And then apparently that's a weird thing for the left to have to be like, well, apparently some of the argumentation's been like, but we need big pharma to get us out of this. We can't turn our backs on them now. And it's like, okay, it's weird.
God, they have to. They have to disagree.
It's funny, man. Yeah, exactly.
Crazy.
But
You
apparently
can never,
Russia,
either side can never be like, well, they got that right.
well, Russia says they got the vaccine.
Russia has it.
They secured the bag.
Good for them.
Russia, he's like, Putin's like, I gave it to my daughter. She's fine.
Really?
So she got a couple fevers, broke them. She's like, we're available. The vaccine will be available immediately. We're gonna
Damn,
start
that's a
selling
good move. They're just going to sell us Robitussin.
Yeah.
They're going to sell us like $18 billion worth of fucking nothing.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, how are you going to test it? Like, the vaccine's like, it's working. It's like, yeah, I guess, cool. I can go back to stuff now. Dude, I was I was reading about China in the Atlantic, and you know, I called Spud.
Can't believe you read that lib rag.
Spud was saying it's purely propaganda. The Atlantic
What's
used
that?
to.
The Atlantic?
He was saying it's
I
purely
like some of it.
professional class There's levels of propaganda, and there's professional class propaganda, which has to be like use kind of like big words, and you mess around with kind of like more ideas, and it's not as like blatant. But I'm reading the first two articles. The first two articles are like that, you know, just like the
It's
long.
not like Fox News propaganda where it's like, does this bitch hate freedom? Coming up next, do Arabs hate baseball? We'll find out.
Probably, but yeah, they it's like they'll because I was reading it being like, dude, this sounds like the big thing right now in the Atlantic, and I guess in like in elite circles is like America's done. America's this.
Everybody loves saying
This
America's done.
This has brought America to its knees. And then like some lady will write an article that's like, and the grotesque mirror of racism that emanates off of Donald Trump. And then so there's two articles of like, you know, they're ripping that stuff. I'm reading it being like, all right. And then it gets into this article about China. And it was just like, you know, people are talking about the economy's down, this and that. And they're talking about China's, how they're working on their AI stuff. And they're saying how they developed it on the Uyghurs. Like they tested.
Every time.
They tested the Uyghur.
It's like Homo sapien.
The Uyghur.
Yeah.
Is that, how do you even say that?
I don't know.
I think it is a Uyghurs. And the, thank you, no. Uh-huh.
Fucking
So
dope
they're saying-
the dopers in the back,
Jesus
dude.
Christ. It's like a shooting gallery, dude. So they're saying they tested this technology on the Uyghurs, and they're like,
Really?
So they have them where
Uyghurs
it's
are like, damn, what the fuck is this shit?
so they like make them. So they have like an app on their phone. They log, you know, according to this article, they're saying like they log how much you're on. Say like Fox News was mandatory, so it's like state propaganda, and if you're not looking at enough of it, they'll call you and be like, "What's up?"
Do you think the Uyghurs talk like T.I.?
You think they
He's like, you need to get us the vaccination. So they're excited about that word.
I don't think they would take the vaccine.
The Uyghurs?
Nah, they're Muslim, bro. They're not taking that shit.
True.
So they apparently they're around these guys according to the
Why
Atlantic,
do you think Muslims don't take vaccines?
they don't fuck with that. Like
Really?
a hardcore Muz, they're not taking a vaccine.
Why? They love science. They invented it, bro. Have some respect.
Not the Uyghurs,
They
bro.
invented math and science.
Not the Hugh Uyghurs, dude. The Hugh Uyghurs are definitely not fucking with vaccines, dude. I don't think they're gonna get. First of all, they're just gonna try to let the Uyghurs die. Like so apparently, so they have a program. You know, again, allegedly, because I don't live in China, I don't know, but it seems plausible that they have like fully detained these guys, and they're doing like these like they're trying to like re-educate them and make them like fully Chinese. But what they said is they'll give you they have big brothers and big sisters.
How do they make them fully Chinese?
I don't know. They go to a Chinese school and you have to like fully learn how to be Chinese. I don't know.
What do they have, like driver's ed?
What do they have, like,
Where you can't parallel park? Come on now. Come on. That's fun.
That's fun.
That's just fun, dude.
That is good American fun.
Yeah.
We might as well get it in while we can because I'm reading this
True.
article and apparently they're swooping down on us. But dude, they'll have a big brother and a big sister. So like you'll go off to like Chinese school and then they'll be like, all right, big brother, the Han Chinese big brother
Yeah.
who's like sitting at the dinner table and being like, what do you guys think of President Xi Jinping or whatever? And they're like, you have to be like, I think he's very good. So like
How do you feel about the party?
literally, and you have to sit there and be
I
like,
love the party.
I love the party. And then you go to Chinese school and big brother, they're saying in this article, will sleep in bed. He'll like sleep in bed with your wife. It's just your big bro. Dude.
Damn.
If your big bro will just stick
They're
around.
not prima nocta.
Yeah, dude. Or they'll just there's just a dude in your house all the time, making sure you're not fucking around.
Damn.
Just for the
cucking you.
But now what they're saying is they're developing all this AI technology where they're trying to get it down to, they're not there yet. It's actually kind of funny because like one of their
They are in the future, dude. That's like the future of porn. Incest cuckoldry.
Big brother.
Yeah. Big
Like
brother
the government
fucks your wife.
fucks your wife.
That's what we're talking about.
That'd be hot actually.
Yeah.
Government.
They
big
got.
bro
It's
comes
like
in.
woman stuck in house because her door was welded shut. Big brother catches her with a net. She's stuck. China might be just working purely on the perfect porn.
Well, right now I think that'll probably follow after that. I think they're exporting like plug and play autocratic like panopticons where it's like you can see everyone's movement. You like sell all the phones, link them all in a network. And
Yeah, they're trying to play SimCity.
They're playing, but they're selling the ability to
Playing
do that
Sims.
according to the article, to autocratic regimes from around the world. So you could have like North Korea can get hooked up by China, Venezuela might get hooked up by China, where they're like, here you go, here's how you completely monitor your entire civilian base, and then it'll be. This is my prediction, but I think they're going for is it'll be like North Korea, China, Venezuela, any country that like where a dictator can get this technology, and then it'll just be up to the West to be like, well, I guess we got to fight this like autocratic regime where like you can just demand all the data. The more data you have, the better your AI gets. So I think the West is going to be like, look, let's just give up everyone's data in the name of freedom, and it'll just be the same thing.
Yeah.
So I think I think it's almost unavoidable right now. Just at least the way they're reporting it.
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, they're talking like facial recognition, looking to like, looking at what you read, looking how you react to things. Well, and again, they said they're right. It's funny too, because they say all this stuff and they're like, yeah, but last year they had a thing where like, they're like, we can recognize everyone's face in 2 seconds. And then they're like, there was a thing where like an ad, some face on like a bus got a ticket for jaywalking.
I like that.
Yeah. So I don't know, dude. But you're reading all these articles and it's like,
It's definitely like a black nurse.
well, so the facial recognition. So
No, I mean if it's an ad on a bus.
well, what I'm telling you is the facial recognition. They're selling the shit to like sub-Saharan regimes, and the facial recognition for black faces is really bad. So like they're trying.
Damn,
to
so for
Did you ever see
freedom,
that on
we
Facebook?
might have to go all blackface to
We
fight the.
We might have to Braveheart.
Wow.
We might have to Braveheart for freedom.
That's a nice twist. That's probably why they don't want us in blackface, dude. Government cracked down hard on blackface lately
Exactly.
because the deep state knows.
Deep state knows
the only true way to beat them is just go full blackface.
Yeah, they. Did you ever see that when like Facebook had trouble with it? They would tag. I think it was Chris Cotton, R.I.P. Every black person on Facebook is like, "Is this Chris Cotton?" I'm like, "No, Facebook is not. That's not him."
Now it's just Lemaire.
Every black person in every photo was like, "You're with Chris Cotton, right?" I'm like, "No, dude, it's not him." So yeah, the facial recognition is not
It's a
good.
Baku. R.I.P.
R.I.P.
He got lost in the great Pico scandal.
True.
He disappeared.
True, dude.
There was a guy who did open mics in Philly that like ripped off his roommates and then quit over like $1,000. Lemaire, you were one of them.
I was one of the roommates.
You
you're
were
one of the
part of the
aggrieved.
great.
I was one of the roommates. I was part of the scandal.
How much did he rip you off for?
Probably about like $500.
Damn, that's big. That's big money in Titan House.
Yeah, that was big money. Yeah,
That was big. That could have gone to a lot of Dragon Ball Z cards or whatever you dorks were up to.
How did that resolve, Lemaire? I mean, that was the beef. A guy was pretending to pay the electric bill, right?
Yeah, it didn't resolve. He just disappeared.
You think he fled the country? He was international.
No, he's here. He's in Philly. There have been sightings.
He didn't really disappear. All he did was quit his dream. That's all he did, dude. His dream was to do stand up, and then he was like, "This bill is $1,500. All right, it's over.
I'm out."
Ride's over."
Yeah, he could have. I feel like he could have came out and been like, "Yeah, man, I
fucked up. I'm sorry.
I'll work it off," and everyone was like, "Yeah, whatever. Everyone fucks up money sometimes." It's also a sick move, dude, to get the electric bill, not pay it, as if like,
And then keep collecting from your roommates.
yeah. What was the vice, dude? There had to have been some sort of like, was it just like sheer laziness, or was there like betting involved? Like,
I don't know, because he would just like eat pancakes like every day.
so he was living it up in your guys' face.
Living
Did
it up.
that. Yeah, he's living it up, dude.
He was eating pancakes.
Bisquick.
No, like he would just like I don't know. I think he was just devastatingly poor. I don't know what his vices were.
I don't know, man. He never really struck me as devastatingly poor. But probably just one of his many capers, dude. He's
Yeah.
probably been in multiple cities doing stand up,
He has a
$1,500
black guy-
at a time.
He has a black guy ponytail now.
No,
Yeah.
he's
He
a security guard.
No. He
Damn.
works in Old City. These are just, you know.
He may have leveled up entirely. He's like a Sasquatch, though. Every once in a while, there's like
Ew.
a sighting of him.
Fuck, he's had a fucking ponytail, dude. He won.
He definitely won. He ripped
won.
his roommates off and grew a ponytail. It was just like, I'm done doing open mics.
Now it's corporate America.
Yeah, I guess.
How's he have a ponytail?
Like it's just like I don't know.
Oh, I
Is it
see.
like-
I understand
Does
now.
he like braid it up, or is it fluffy?
I don't know. I think it's just fluffy.
Fluffy.
You know what I'm talking about?
I got it.
Is it grease it up and pull it back, or is it like, I think it was Omarion or someone who just did like a fluffy
Yeah.
yeah,
Exactly.
little honey bun.
It's funny that you got to like tiptoe around black hair. You got to be like, what's that? The fluffy. Is that all right? It's fluffy?
Chick like.
Yeah, anytime you talk about black hair, it just instantly turns into fucking Price is Right or whatever. Fucking, what's that game?
Family Feud.
Family Feud, where you're like, nappy? Oh, fuck, I'm fired.
Fuck. Yeah.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, my spend a lot. I actually know a lot about black hair. I'm not bragging. I'm not virtue signaling. I know a lot. I mean, just ask me a question. I could probably. I mean, it's not really for me to talk about, but
True.
if you had to, I could.
Didn't you write about it in a book and somebody criticized
No,
it?
it wasn't even that. There was somebody on Facebook who was like, there was like this thing where writers were like started virtue signaling where they're like, I'll never write a black character in my book because that's not my story to tell.
Yeah.
I was just perusing Facebook and there was a comedian.
My stories are whites only.
Yeah, really.
All right, take it easy, man.
Well, yeah, then they'll be like, there's no black people in this book. And you're like, well, I'm not allowed to write them. They're like, why? And you're like, oh,
Because I don't get them.
yeah.
I don't know.
Well, that
We
was
think different.
The lady was like, how would a white man ever know what a black woman's hair was like if it was wet and in the ocean? It's like, well, maybe he was in the ocean with her. Maybe
he saw it.
Maybe he knows a black person. They're like, shut up, fuck you, McCusker, you're the fucking worst. It's like, all right.
Damn.
That's a weird thing to be like, I'm not going to write about black people at all.
I would never.
In fact, I quit writing. All I can write about is white people and fuck them.
That's a lot of like,
I'm done.
That's just probably for bad writers. It's the same way bad comics are like, I'm an activist now, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah. I mean, dude.
It's like, what?
Big time.
Yeah, that's the move.
Big time. I noticed a lot of the outrage. I mean, I don't know when it was, but there was people who were like freaking out. Maybe the SNL thing. I don't know what it was, but you look at their profile and it's always like, oh no, by the way, check out my indie comic series about a black superhero, and it's like, or a kick-ass Muslim lady who runs for the White House, and it's like, okay, that's weird.
Yeah.
That's just fucking happening. It happens to make I mean, it's tale as old as time, bro.
It is. It's unfortunate. It's weird too to see comics just fully like I just saw a political ad for the Democratic Party, the DNC there. Maybe it was the DNC. It was paid for by somebody. That was just a David Cross bit about how shitty Trump is. And that's like a political ad now. It's like, how as a comic are you just like, it'd be like, yeah, I basically do propaganda for one of the political parties.
Cash.
I don't know.
It's just the cash.
It's odd.
Yeah, dude, they're after the cash. If they if someone was like, yo, here's the bag.
And David Cross used to rule.
He's
very funny.
As fuck,
He's very fucking funny.
He's hilarious.
Yeah.
Also,
he still is. He must still be funny.
Yeah, and they're like, yo, we're going to pay you and use your base. We're like, yeah, go the fuck ahead.
Yeah, true. Shout out Ben Shapiro. You see Ben Shapiro
dude,
shouted me out?
What's that about?
He's like, I was watching Shane Gillis. It's like, God damn it, dude. Anyone else?
I heard it, and he was exactly right. Donald Trump would bury the other comedians. He would bury you because he's significantly funnier. Also, have you seen the WAP video?
Have you seen that fucking thing?
Yes, I saw it.
Look, I kind of agree. Dude, I was with Shapiro was going a little too hard.
Points? Let me hear his points.
I think he was just going over the lyrics and being like, how the fuck is this empowering?
Yeah.
Now, he didn't do it that way. Of course, he did it in a very dorky way where he like wouldn't say pussy. He'd call it a P word. He'd be like, F this P word, N word. Get deep into it, N word. Like, it was like, damn, dude.
He just wanted to throw in some censored N words, dude.
Yeah, I think so.
So we're going to read the lyrics.
Yeah. I watched that music video, and what do you think?
It's just a sad state of affairs, dude. It's just kind
It is a weird thing.
I mean,
to watch.
like it's a 27-year-old lady who's excited she has a vagina. It's like, yeah, dude. Newsflash: they're all awesome.
Yeah,
they all rule.
Cardi B's only 27.
27, yeah. Nicki Minaj is 35.
She aged kind of hard. Cardi B looks.
Bro, you're talking the party lifestyle, dude.
True.
That's like
she's Mrs. Cool.
Oh, she's Mrs. Cool.
I was Mr. Cool. I was Mr. Cool last Thursday.
Were you really?
Oh, I was Mr. Cool. I was bopping
where were you
around,
at?
Dude.
You're Mr. Cool.
Oh, the coolest I've been in a while.
being fucked up as being Mr. Cool is
it's so embarrassing. Waking
thing.
up and being like, why would I fucking be that guy?
I was so fucking cool last night.
I was so chill last
Everyone's
night.
calling you like, dude, you were so fucking cool last
Remember when
night.
you did that? Whoa, you're 32. I'm like, yeah, I'm 32. I still black out, baby.
Yeah, man. Well, that's like... Yeah, imagine if you were blacking out every night, like a personal trainer woke you up and made you like fucking a yogurt parfait and all that, and you're like, shit, all right, and fucking started working out. They're like, look, we're going to build your ass. And you're like, sure, fine.
Perfect. What do you have to do? Well, basically, you just have to scream wet pussy over and over again and shake your ass.
Yeah, that was like,
Man, but I will say this. You hit old eighth. If I was in 8th grade right now and that music video came on.
Man. Dude, I was jerking off to Britney Spears videos, dude. I was working with a
school. That holds up.
I was working with a school. Luckily, I was of age. I was loud. But yeah, dude, that.
Yeah, everybody talks about like movies that hold up. Nobody talks about wankable music videos that hold up.
What else did you jerk to?
Obviously, Girls Gone Wild. When you hit that fucking, you hear that fucking those steel drums come on at about 2 a.m. I still get hard.
I'm talking just music videos.
Music videos that got me.
I'm talking Chris Isaac, Wicked Games. That was a jerk.
I'm trying to think of
these wicked games you play.
Did you guys watch BET Uncut or BET After Dark?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
what was on BET After Dark?
Just music videos that were
sexy,
provocative.
I used to jerk off to
usually
a
like
video about
strippers.
D'Angelo getting
Oh, you know what got me? Hot in Her.
Oh,
Hot in Her music video got me.
That's a good jerk video.
Yeah, I remember that.
That's not bad.
There was one, Shakira could get me. She had She-Wolf, and I was a geezer for that. I was like,
these are pretty recent.
I was like a freshman or sophomore
in
high school, and I was still like, that music video got me. No, fucking the one I said when I was young. What was the first one? Hot in Her? I was in like 7th or 8th.
Yeah,
I was right in my prime.
True. Hot in Her is a good jerk.
Yeah, we need to bring back throwback jerseys.
I'm trying to think. I think I jerked to like Jessica Simpson videos.
Fat guy apparel just plummeted in the last decade.
It kind of did.
There's nothing cool I can wear.
I think as a fat guy, you're supposed to just wear tight stuff right now.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I think all fat guys wear
skinny
tight
jeans. I look like a fucking loser.
Yeah, tight shirt.
It's crazy. Bring back like throwbacks and like.
It's like if you
essentially Jinkos.
It's like
give me a throwback and some fucking Timbs.
Yeah, Gordon Ramsay will wear like a tight V-neck and just be like, it's like what the fuck, dude.
Yeah, that's because men are supposed to be fat pussies now.
True, yeah.
So like, what's cool is like hipster fashion. So it's like, here's a sweater I barely fit into. It's got an owl on it.
True.
Also, I think socialism rocks.
Dude, you ever see suburban hipsters?
Yeah.
Dude,
I actually give them credit. They fight the good fight.
Really?
Like Lancaster, I'll go to Lancaster and see hipsters and be like,
That's like dead.
good for you guys. Like, you guys are up against it. They're the front line. They're up
True.
against, like, actual conservatives.
Yeah.
Like, dudes will drive by in a truck and be like, like nice glasses. These New York hipsters have no skin in the game.
True.
I don't respect them.
True, yeah. I always
Give me
thought it
a
was
good
just,
Lancaster
just
hipster.
lonely for like a suburban hipster.
Especially goth.
Anything you talk, yeah, it kind of
It's
is.
basically being a goth.
Anything you talk about, everyone's like, you're just surrounded by dudes in like tucked in Under Armour polos, being like, "Shut the fuck up, dude!
It's just a bunch of me's
Shut
in
the,
a
go
room.
get some fucking pussy, dude." It's like ridiculous. I
Dude.
saw some guy like riding a bike, like almost like a bike messenger around my parents' house, and I was like, "Dude, are you lost? Like,
Yeah.
go back to." I wanted to like catch him and put him back in the city. And be
Yeah,
like,
be like, go to Fishtown, bro.
yeah, dude, go back to like a highly
You don't have to
gentrified
live it.
neighborhood.
You're gonna get like hit with like paintballs from
yeah,
like
some
local
landscaper's
kids.
gonna call you a fag, dude.
Yeah, the fucking, I don't know. The being a hipster outside it reminds me of, truthfully, now that we're talking about it, I brought it up I think last week. It holds up as a very funny video of this dude wearing a Black Lives Matter banner in
getting
Arkansas, dude. Dude's pulling up in trucks and being like, "You're fucking white, man. Put that shit away." And then riding off. It's so funny. I mean, obviously a couple of them go too far. But
Yeah.
it's clear. I mean, they see a white dude wearing it.
Yeah.
So they're like, shut the fuck up. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it's gotta piss 'em
It would
off.
be I'm sure it would be a little different if it was a black dude.
I'm sure.
It'd be, don't get me wrong, he'd be getting hit with some
Windows up.
he'd be getting hit with some hard heckles.
You think so?
Undoubtedly,
In
but not as
Arkansas?
hard as a honky.
In Arkansas, in Willie
I
Clinton's
think it was
neighborhood,
like
bro?
I think it was like the home of the Klan, this town.
Oh, that's right.
It was
yeah.
like one of the main Klan.
He was like, "I'm gonna go wear this."
He wore a Black Lives Matter billboard out front of a Walmart in Arkansas. People were like, "Get the fuck out of here! What's wrong with you, man?"
Oh my god!
It's like, "Oh, you probably want to fuck Bill Gates too, don't you? You fucking homo! The vaccine's not real." Just drive off. They all hit him with as many conspiracies as they could, like right away. Like, it's fake. Although I have been watching the NBA, and it makes me laugh every time. Like, the whole court is Black Lives Matter. Everything's Black Lives. Like, people's jerseys are like, "We matter." They basically have XFL jerseys on. They're like, "He hate me. Y'all hate me." It's so funny.
What's up with baseball? Wasn't there a lot
There's
of
a
fights?
white dude with ally. That's the best one. You see that
What,
fucking
they
bald
really
dude?
do that?
Yeah, they have, instead of names, it's like, say her name, ally. It's equality. Equality is the one that's going around. That's pretty funny because it's a white dude swatting. He's about to pin a black dude against the backboard. It just says equality.
They
on the
have
back
that
of
for
it.
real?
Yes. Every time I see it, I'll be watching it with Phil, and I'll be like, "Oh yeah, have you seen that?" Like every time, like Black
Fire
Lives
him
Matter,
up.
I'm like, "Hey Phil, have you heard about this Black Lives Matter thing?" Because it's every single. And then me and him got in a beef, dude, hard beef.
Why?
I haven't seen him spaz like this in a while. He came back from the men's club, had a couple drinks in him.
Called pops.
He's like, "We're watching golf. We're watching it." And I was like, "Hockey's on. It's playoff hockey. We're watching.
fired up.
We're
You're
watching.
fired
Come on,
up,
man."
bro.
Well, that was a battle the day before. The Flyers were on, and it was like day 3 of this golf tournament. There was still another day.
Mm-hmm.
And dude, golf is
Yeah, you can catch
4
the highlight-
hours
you
of
catch the
watching.
highlights.
I doubt we have too many golf fans that are listening to this. Dude, it is the worst sport I've ever watched. It is fucking dorks in khakis walking around like, "Oh, that was a great shot, Bryson."
Yeah.
Like the top 3 guys were like Dustin, Bryson, and Connor.
Yeah.
It's like, good Christ. But
Yeah, it's like I would go to a family party and it's on. I sit on the couch and I'm just like, I'll go sit in
yeah,
another
this is
room.
it's just a guaranteed nap.
Oh,
You're
so-
just watching.
yeah.
You're watching accountants walk.
yeah.
That's the sport. It's a fucking old dude whispering, and then a bunch of accountants like, "That was a hell of an approach."
Yeah.
like, oh
it
my
fucking
God.
sucks, dude.
But what was really funny is Phil. So he had he's got some gambling going on, and the one
On
guy,
golf?
dude, on everything. I told you he was betting on fucking Madden.
True.
What's that? The beginning of 50 Cent's album? Come on. But there was one guy who he couldn't have win, Morikawa. So that was fun to watch. Watch this fucking young boy, Colin. By
Fucking
the way,
love.
just nailed
Colin
it.
Morikawa?
Colin Morikawa, baller, new star of the game. Hit
Really?
the best shot. Phil was like, "Come on, motherfucker, miss this!" And they were like, "Shot of a lifetime, best shot he's ever hit." And it was like, he hit an eagle at the end.
gotta
It
be
was
so
great,
fun.
but this was a hard fight because Phil came in, had a couple drinks, was like, "We're watching golf right now."
What were you watching? You were watching that?
I was
Playoff
watching,
hockey.
I believe, Blues versus. Blues versus. Fuck, I forget who it was. Actually, I think it might have been Toronto versus Columbus. Great stuff.
Yeah.
Overtime hockey. Winner goes home. Phil comes in, he's like, put it on, and then he was screaming, like trying to fight me in front of my family. Everybody in there was like, Phil, relax. And he was like, put the fuck it, like
He was
spazzing.
pissed. He needed to see what was going on.
But he doesn't know. So they lost the remote that controls the TV. They have the cable remote. That's what they use. But they lost the remote. So I downloaded an app on my phone that's the remote. So I just kept changing it from anywhere. I can go in my room and change it.
He had no idea.
I can hit like channel down and you just hear this, God fucking damn it. And then I just, I went to YouTube and typed in 10 hours of Trump saying bing, bing, bong, bing, bing, bong, and put that on. And that literally resulted in him chasing me through the house. Because I couldn't get it back off. I couldn't get it off. I was like, I don't know how to change it. He was like, change it right now, motherfucker.
Bing,
And it was just Trump on full volume going bing, bing, bong, bing, bing, bong. And then my niece and nephew started going bing, bing, bong, like screaming. Everyone was screaming at him. Yeah, Phil had a rough one. And all that to just watch Morikawa just put a knife in the old man. Which was very fun. I just kept screaming. I was like, Morikawa.
Oh, that's so
Put
funny.
a fork in him. He's finished.
Oh, that's so fucking funny.
Yeah, bing, bing, bong, 10 straight hours. And he was
Fuck.
just like, turn it off. Volume up, dude. He's got a sound bar. It was like shaking the house, dude.
Is it a smart TV?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
They lost the remote, and it's the only way I can get UFC, like when it's on ESPN Plus, is to switch apps.
Yeah.
So that was like, that was a fight. Me and Phil have basically just been fighting over the television
The whole time.
all of COVID.
Why couldn't you do the back and forth, like a little bit of commercials, a little back here?
He's
and
a fucker about it, dude. He is like, he can't watch commercials, so he has to change it nonstop. But golf doesn't have any. Golf, they'll just cut to a commercial while they're still playing. Like
Yeah.
it'll be a screen and screen.
Do they do that?
Yeah, it's a fucking dude. Golf sucks.
It is pretty
It's
boring.
20 hours of just dudes walking.
It sucks. I've been
And then
exposed to a little bit.
It's crazy.
Yeah, my uncles will put it on and watch, and it has to be. They have
And
to
it's
be
always
gambling.
you get the same fucking answer from everybody. They're like, "Wait till you play it, then you'll really appreciate it."
Yeah,
Like, have you ever played? You can't play,
it's like,
dude. You can't fucking. You've been playing for 30 years. You still suck. The game sucks.
it does suck.
You couldn't do it. That's the argument to watch something.
Yeah, it's like I couldn't do professional darts.
I'm not
dude.
jerking off to American Ninja Warrior. I could never
That's
do
a
that.
good. That's a good show.
Show does rule. I'd definitely.
I'd watch
that's
that over golf.
Crushes golf.
100%.
Yes.
But yeah, exactly. If someone turned it off, I'd be like, "Oh, you got a good argument."
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's yeah. Golf is easily the worst fucking sport to watch.
Yeah.
Easily.
Regular season
Worse
baseball.
than baseball. Worse
Regular
than
season baseball is rough, but yeah, golf's number one.
Golf is like the best it can get. Is the worst of baseball.
Tell you what, NBA in the bubble has kind of sucked, especially because the Sixers are horrible, dude.
Really?
How about your Sixers? You don't like your Sixers this year?
They're not doing too well now.
No.
They're not doing
What do you
too
think
well.
about them
But
this
they
year?
have the cool jerseys too.
They have cool. Yes,
Everyone
do.
has one.
everybody, almost everybody has.
What about
cool
like those
jerseys.
European dudes? Do they have any
No,
kind of
those
like
will just say like ally.
Brexit?
Yeah, true.
Brexit.
True. I was wondering when people were going to start making other points, which would be funny.
Yeah, man. Like
Yeah.
someone, there has to be someone in the NBA who rocks like an American flag Trump jersey.
There was only one. I saw one dude that stood for the national anthem. That was
Really?
it. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a big story. Unfortunately, I saw someone be like, "And this guy stood. Check it out." And it's
Yeah. They're like, look at this amazing patriot.
Yeah, it's like, I don't fucking care.
Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah,
But whatever. It'll be. We'll see what the next thing is. You know what I mean? Pretty sure it'll all be President Xi Jinping or whatever. Xi Pajama, dude. It'll be President Xi Pajama.
Yeah, that's a good guy. Lemaire, what do you think of the bubble? What's going on out there? Put the phone down, you goddamn doper.
I'm sorry, dude. I'm not paying attention to basketball. I'm waiting for actual playoffs to start.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Dude, so Brittany's
Great point, Lemaire.
Noah, write that one down for the time.
Yeah, write that. We've been trying to put clips out. That could be our best clip. Lemaire, what do you think about the NBA? I haven't really been watching it too much. Great, thank you. Back to the podcast.
So Bays,
I've been thinking about it like the draft is like a slave auction. The NBA draft, like that's the thing
That's
I've
a
been thinking
fair.
about.
That's a new take.
Is it?
No.
no. Oh, okay. I don't know. It just
people
looks
called
like
it.
It does look like it. Yeah, it's a bunch of white dudes like literally measuring black dudes.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, wingspans. They're like, he's got big hands. Like, yeah, it's not great. And
Could
then
you jump for me?
And then a bunch of agents. Their agents selling them, putting them on and be like, look, his hands are huge.
Yeah, it's pretty fucked up.
Yeah, it's NFL Combine's worse. NFL
Really?
Combine's way worse. Yeah. Now there's a lot more white guys, but there's still like thick, like jacked black dudes just
Yeah.
standing in a line like with their shirts off,
Just dragging
and just white
equipment.
dudes with clipboards like
It's like your Special Olympics.
grabbing
shirt.
his like flab and be like, well. He won't do.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. It's a wild world. I wish someone would rate my body and tell me where I stand.
Oh,
Just tell me where let me go to the combine.
you would
Just
look
tell me where I
like
stand,
you would
dude.
look like in your prime. You would look like Tom Brady's combine picture.
What's that? How's that look?
It reminds me of how you would look like if you were like in your prime for this thing. Yeah,
I'm in my athletic prime right now,
you think?
easily.
What have you done athletically?
I did yoga this morning. I ran 1.6 miles yesterday. Basically, I've never been able to run this far.
That's
in my
awesome,
life.
man.
1.6 miles is my world record. So
It's my world record.
pretty stoked on that. Pretty stoked on that. 15-minute 1.6.
True.
Come on, man. Come on.
Come on, baby.
Surprised my phone's not ringing right now.
Who do you think Usain Bolt's gonna call you and be like, "How are you doing it? Get down here."
I do like my back will start hurting about immediately when I start to run.
Yeah,
So then
you just gotta ride through it.
I do like slow old guy jogging where like I've seen people do it. I'm like, dude, just walk.
How long is this mile and a half taking you?
About I think 15 minutes.
That's pretty good.
That's all right.
That's that's not bad.
Sorry, that's not bad. About 8 minutes.
That's pretty bad.
It's about it's pretty. It's
That's not great. I
about
thought
9 minutes.
I did the
9
math
minutes.
wrong. I was like, that's 2 8-minute miles.
That's
No,
9 minute
no,
miles.
it's a half.
That's 9. It's about 9.5, 9:55, 9 minutes 55 seconds.
That's pretty good. Yeah, that's not
I'm sub
bad.
10.
Oh,
I'm sub 10 minute
bro,
mile, bro.
Sub 10. You're fast as lightning.
that's
That's
combine.
grease lightning. That's grease lightning, dude.
Sub 10, dude. Come on, 90-degree heat. I'm running at like a 200-meter elevation. Come on, dude. I think it's like 57 feet elevation, but still, dude. Come on.
Where?
That's the
Philly?
elevation. They track the elevation. Yeah.
Philly's like sea level.
No, there's a lot of hills, dude. Trust me. I'll take you out on the track. I'll take you out on the mountain.
Philly's a port city.
Dude, not where I'm at. It's like Greece where I'm at. It's just
Yeah,
fucking
you're up on
hills.
the-
I'm
yeah,
like
the
San
Parthenon,
Fran.
dude.
Might as well be. Oh, dude. So right now, Bay's planning the wedding, and I've been watching for
Oh, God.
2.5 days now. I've been watching her, and she'll try to rope me into these discussions. And it's like I'm not even being a dick. I'm like, dude, like I have nothing to offer, but they're like coordinating the dresses, and like some are this color, and like they're all into it. They're all like, oh, I'm doing this.
Oh, fuck.
They're planning a color experience, basically.
I'm not wearing a color.
A year from now.
I'm not wearing a color.
You don't have to wear whatever you.
I'm wearing a fucking say her name.
You have to. I'm having all my groomsmen do fucking
Have
political.
different-
Yeah, being like justice. But dude, they're like.
Mine'll just be like segregation. We need to split this church up. Sorry.
will be- the
I
church-
apologize. I apologize.
You're on fire.
Shouldn't
right
be
now,
on the
dude.
air
You're
right
on
now.
fucking fire right now.
It will be. It'll be pretty segregated if you sit
Families,
private
for
group.
sure. Yeah, it'll definitely.
So that'll be fun.
No, it'll definitely.
that'll be a fun
pretty-
moment
it'll
for
be
me.
pretty split up.
You're gonna have to invite like Lemaire to
True.
get on the group side.
Just like the yin and yang. Just have
Yeah.
that little. I got you.
It's a dot.
But yeah, they're planning like a color experience.
Which would be funny, like if you invite like Sydney or like Lemaire, like when they walk in, whoever is at the door is gonna be like, "No, you're on that side."
for sure.
Just be like, "What?"
For sure. I don't know how. Yeah, I have no idea how they're even going to do that. It probably will be something like that.
Yeah,
It's all in one spot.
you're gonna have to get her side of the family to seat people because that's tricky for honkies. If they
What?
get the wrong side,
Figure it out.
yeah,
Yeah, I think it'll just be like pick wherever you want. Doesn't matter.
true,
Cool. Wherever.
true. I
wherever you
apologize.
sit,
I
yeah.
apologize. I apologize.
No, I
Shouldn't be on
think
the air right
that's the
now.
only way you can handle that. Rather than being, sir, like start like blocking a black dude. You're like, hey, whoa, hey, get out of here. Come on, what are you doing? Are you crazy? Come on, get out of here.
Look, there's certain jokes I shouldn't make, but
This is
instead
fun.
of like segregating like left or right, you should segregate like front and back.
You think we're gonna do that, dude? Wow.
Should
Lemaire,
be like
how you feel about that?
Groom's family up front. I apologize, dude. Don't you dare just crush your seltzer. 'Cause I apologize for the racist remark I made. That was
You
stupid.
love it, dude.
Love what?
You love that kind of stuff.
That stuff's crap, dude.
It's the epitome of ignorance.
It's
dude.
crap, dude. I don't even think it's funny.
But no, we'll never do that.
You'd never.
I
Of course
stand.
not.
I stand with everybody.
All right, so
Dude,
you
my
think
Deviated was
you
closing
think about
up.
getting like multicolored? Like you guys are going like
No, they're doing it. I
going
told her.
Fanta.
I told her I was like, whatever you guys do. It's we're going classic tux. But they're like, it's a year from now. And they're like, well, if you have that orange, I'll have this teal, and we'll do that. And it's just like, it's just weird, man. It's just like, what the fuck are you guys doing?
Yeah, it's
It's crazy to me.
wild that women have.
That's what I'm saying. To
Was it
be-
always like this? I don't think it was. Like
For
when
the weddings?
our parents got married and shit, it
No, dude,
It couldn't have been, right?
No, you couldn't do it.
was like $40, and then you go to like the Knights of Columbus like parade ground.
You took a picture like in your dad's living room. On,
Yeah.
like it's stained carpet. And you're just like, and then everyone there would just go stand. You
Yeah.
drink Budweisers, and everyone would smoke cigarettes the entire time. But yeah, now it's like it's a big deal.
Yeah.
You know, she didn't get sucked up into too much of that. But
You
it's
better
just
have
like,
a coordinated dance.
Nah, I told her.
Please.
I already shut that. I already said no to that.
Please let me see you do that, dude.
Said no to that. I don't want to do that.
I'm not doing. If they do the groomsmen intros, I'm not doing.
Not even a little. I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do for any of that stuff.
That's tough.
I
That
mean,
sucks.
I'm gonna have to. Brittany's a dancer, dude. So I'm gonna have to definitely. I'll have
You're
my
a dancer.
dancers.
You're a dancer.
Obviously,
you're
dude.
a dancer.
I'll have my dancing.
Especially
shoes on.
old Billy will have a couple cocktails
I'll have
in
a
him.
couple
He'll be
Michelob
cutting a
Ultras,
rug.
dude. Yeah,
Spud
it'll be-
man. We're gonna look like the Peanuts. Everyone just yeah, it's gonna be good, dude.
It'd be fun, but that was blowing my mind. Like, dude, just pick a fucking color. It's like this whole
Yeah.
thing, like these three people and this color will signify this, and it was just like, Jesus fucking Christ. And then it'll just be like, what do you think? Should I do this or that? And it's like, I'm not trying to be a dickhead. I don't know.
Yeah.
I have no fucking idea. I don't care. And it's just like, yeah, this is for both of us. And I'm like, no, it's not. No, it's not.
Yeah, trust me, I don't care.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Yeah.
that's been fun.
I already regret the separating the church.
You're going for it.
I
dude.
apologize.
You're
Push
going for it.
boundaries on that. If
You did push boundaries.
if Bay is listening, I pushed boundaries on
She
that,
never-
and I
she never-
apologize.
she
I
never
would never
listens.
make a joke like that again.
She never listens. Her and my mom, good women, dude. They don't listen
Good
to this.
Bays. I have to fight my family not to listen to this.
You just got to tell them straight up.
I'll
Well,
be like, it fucks me up knowing if I know you're listening. I'm
true.
I can't talk about jizz with my mom listening.
Yeah, I don't. I think if my mom heard me talk about jizz, she would just
Turn it off.
shut it off.
So
She would
that's
shut
crap.
it off.
That's
and
crap.
never. Yeah, she would never turn it back on.
It's getting toasty in here, isn't it?
It's getting
It's
hot.
awfully hot.
It's getting hot as fuck.
Where are we at?
Hour 7.
All right, let's
break it up.
Yeah, let's end this episode and go to Patreon in a minute.
You got anything for the?
the
people?
Yeah, I actually have a bunch of dates coming up. Back on the road, dude.
Are you really?
I'm headed out west. I got this weekend, the 14th and 15th of August. I'll be at Providence, the Comedy Connection. 21st, 22nd, will be at Magooby's Joke House with Matt McCusker and
Big.
Lemaire.
It's gonna be big.
And then a live podcast Saturday night. 4th and 5th of September, I'll be at Wise Guys in Salt Lake City, Utah. And then the weekend of the 11th and 12th of September, I'll be at the House of Comedy in Phoenix. Jesus Christ. And the 18th and 19th, I'll be in Minnesota.
Damn, dude, they're smacking your horse in
Utah,
the butt,
Arizona, and Minnesota, back to back to back. That's a tough stretch. What really sucks is if you like bomb.
dude. Out in Utah.
You just fly around bombing. I mean, that's why people quit. They're like, I'm sick of the road.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, yeah, no shit. You got to fly to different places and just get your fucking ass kicked. And just be like, I got to come up with something. And then once you get into like desperation mode about comedy, it gets real awkward.
Oh,
You're like,
dude.
come on, man. Isn't that funny, guys?
Come on,
Like,
guys.
Get off the stage, asshole.
That's when,
Like, oh,
that's
fuck.
when you just go full like give it up for the troops.
Break it out for weed. Who here's fucking
smoking.
who's smoking the weed?
I might smoke the most. Yeah.
I love weed. Who here loves the troops?
You guys having a drink?
I wonder if it's still troops. I wonder if you can still give it up for troops. I bet now it's give it up for Black Lives Matter. That's like a guaranteed fucking.
Depends the room, man. Oh,
Any just about any room you can be like, hey, we got a lot going on right now. Let's give it up for like.
I think it's probably just like a mic to the chest, being like, "Shit's crazy right now." You can stay vague.
Yeah, true.
Stay vague.
You gotta stay neutral.
Depends what room you're in, man. You can get a room.
True. It'd be funny to fly around the country and be like, you believe this horse shit? And then the next night be like, our brothers and sisters on the front lines. You get it wrong one time, like a rock star, where they're like, hello, Cleveland. And they're like, you're in Detroit.
Like, oh, fuck.
You show up to like Hattiesburg or some bullshit in Mississippi, and you're like, Am I right? Come on, Black Lives Matter.
Yeah, you got to get it right.
Damn it, I'm in the wrong city.
You got to screen it out pretty well. That's why I think you should stay vague. Just be like, it's crazy.
Crazy time we're living in.
I'm not saying this is a bad president, but I think he has stuff to work on. Like, nah, he sucks. He sucks. He sucks. He sucks.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, dude, that's I mean, then again, if you were to bomb, you might as well just ride out the bomb until people stop calling you, and you're like, oh, I guess I'll do something else.
Yeah, just keep bombing.
Yeah.
Or just rip someone's Pico bill off
True.
and then head off into the sunset.
Just grow a ponytail. Always have a ponytail ready, dude.
I am a couple bombs away from a sick ponytail. And just being like, I'm done.
Well, right now too, it's like this, I'm curious to see what it's like to operate with like They take the masks off,
Take the masks off.
but then it's like
Yeah.
25% capacity.
No, it'll be like half at least.
Okay, so
It's good. It's fine.
They fill it up.
Cleveland fucking ruled.
It's got to be.
That was the best one I've
People
done.
got to be excited too. just
People
to
are
be out.
excited, and we have fans now, which is fucking crazy.
Dogs will be out
The
there.
dogs
yeah.
are out, dude.
Magoobs is going to be lit.
Magoobies is
Live
going to be
cast
wild.
is going to be pretty fucking.
I think
fun.
Providence is going to be good.
Yeah.
I think Providence is going to be good.
Probably
Anyway, Salt Lake is a question. I don't know how our ratings are in the
I get people hitting.
Salt
there's
Lake
people
market.
hitting us up from Utah, dude.
Really?
A couple people when they come out to Salt Lake.
I'll be out there.
They'll be out there.
Filling in for Joey Diaz.
What's he doing? Is he
I don't know.
laying low?
I think he's moving out of the city. I think they're all.
He's
He's part of the
scattered.
Exodus.
Is he?
Yeah, the
Diaz.
LA yeah.
Is Callan leaving? Probably. He got fucking smacked with it too.
Bro,
Callan got smacked.
don't get me started.
What?
Dude, the LA Times ran an article of accusations on the front page against him.
Really?
It's a weird thing to do. I don't know.
Yeah.
Look.
Save it for the page.
Save it for the page.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. Switch over to the Patreon.
Bye. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, baby, we're in. Yo, what's up? It's Brad.
What's up? It's Bryson. Are you 14 and on TikTok? I hope your pussy's wet. I'm 21. Haha. Welcome to
Hawkeye TikTok.
Welcome to Hot Sway House. I hope your pussies are out. We're gay boys. We're here with our gayest boy, Tim.
That's Tim with a U.
Kind of like cum.
That is the face. You're always on the edge of coming. You're just like
You gotta smile though. TikTokers have
true.
this killer smile.
they do. It's like
They
when they
hit
used
a
to
dance
put.
and then they like stick their tongue out and smile.
It's like they used to put Vaseline on cheerleaders' teeth.
What?
Yeah, they probably put some Vaseline on their teeth. So they're like,
Yeah, dude. That I somehow fell into a
yeah, how did
dark
yeah,
hole
what
of
happened?
hot 10-year-old boy.
Were you on R Goomed?
No, I was on. I don't know. It was trending or something on Twitter where that one kid had a party in L.A., like a mansion
right.
party of just unimaginable. It was gold, dude. If I get in one of these,
You have to get.
I would be like Ted Bundy
What are you gonna
into
do?
like a sorority house, dude. If I get in one of these TikTok kids' houses,
You're gonna kill?
room to room, taking them.
You're gonna kill him.
I'm gonna have my way with them and probably execute these boys first chance I get.
Some of them are good kickboxers, dude.
Dude, that was making me laugh so hard when I found out that they would definitely just tune us up.
I
Like
mean,
if you and me were like, yeah, you guys are fucking gay, just get the shit beat out of us.
you have to be if you're that hot.
Yeah.
You have to fight off, people who might come into your mansion.
That was the
out of
guy.
way.
And once I looked it up, I remembered who it was. They were boys with that one boxer that's
Yeah.
an absolute Adonis.
Yeah.
You know that kid?
Which one?
I think it's Ryan Garcia.
Yeah,
I think that's his name.
Yeah, but that was his boy who. That was like so they all
These
have.
boys.
So they all have a slightly less hot sidekick.
Nobody's hotter than
Exactly.
Ryan Garcia.
Ryan Garcia is the hottest, but that guy was Ryan Garcia's slightly less hot sidekick.
Yes.
And then that guy's slightly
promoted.
less hot sidekick
He's getting hotter, dude.
looks like my math teacher, Mr. Horn. His slightly less hot sidekick is like a short Italian dude with a bowl cut.
He's an apprentice hot guy.
He went too not hot. It throws girls do this. On all of girls' dating profile pictures with their friends, they have all girls have like a fake relationship with a girl who's like not as hot as them, so they can take
Portly,
pictures of them.
homely, a homely sidekick.
They took note from girls and they're like, oh, I need a slightly less hot sidekick, so my TikTok pops.
Jesus.
Because it's too disorganized. If you have guys who are like all the exact same hotness, unless they're all twin
No, they
brothers.
do. The one does, dude.
Who is it? Which one's that?
One of them has it. One of my guy, the main guy,
One of the main hot
Taylor.
guy houses.
Taylor's sidekick is also jacked, Tanner. He's more tan, equally
and
hot.
his name's Tanner.
I think. I think Tanner might surpass Taylor With an E. Taylor with an E.
Taylor.
That's a battle, dude.
Which one's
And
Tanner?
I think they all spawned
talking
from
about-
Logan Paul.
Are you talking about Tanner?
Probably. This all started from Logan Paul filming a Japanese dude that killed himself. And it's spawned the whole way. There's a curse in that suicide forest in Japan.
What?
It was like, you only have a gay friends. And now there's just an army of the sexiest boys in one house dancing.
Fuck. Dude, yeah, that's definitely... I mean, honestly, what would... In terms of, like, finding your son in a hot guy house, that's tough
Oh, my
stuff,
God.
dude. You gotta keep your son and daughter off the pole.
Yeah.
Off the top, dude.
You have to.
You gotta keep your son and daughter off the
Dude,
top.
if my dad, if your dad catches you dancing...
Yeah. He dragged me out of that house by my feet, dude. He would... No, he would seriously, like... My dad would take issue with that.
You had a cool earring.
For 6 hours.
You could have been a TikToker.
Went to piercing. I was trying to. I had a girlfriend at the time in high school who was like, "No, it'd be so cool. Trust me." And I was like, "Okay, yeah, definitely." I went home. My dad said he was going to pull it out of my ear, so I was like, "Oh, I got to take this out."
Yeah, I've met your dad. That would definitely be something. He'd be like, "What? What is this?"
He's like, "Oh, come here. I'll pull that thing out of your ear." And I was like, "All right, I'm taking it out." Threw it out.
You ever have any?
Dad won't let me be a hot guy TikToker.
He called me gay. He hit me with the kryptonite, and I was like, "No, I'm not."
Fucking dopers.
Dude,
What are they doing? What are you guys trying to
They're
figure out?
chatting. They're looking up hot guys.
Dude.
The whole
you
room's
guys-
been in. Dude, once you feast your eyes on these hot boys, it plagues the group. It's all I can think about.
Well, that's how they get
That's how the
formed.
virus passes on.
Exactly.
Started in
'Cause
the
then you're
forest.
like, wait, there's not going to be any pussy left for us. And then you're like, we have to form a hot guy group.
We have to start
And then
wearing
you go,
sweatpants.
and then the
showing our
Chinese
dicks.
Communist Party wins. That's how they're winning.
That's why, thank God, Trump's trying to shut this shit down.
Oh, he has to.
He probably saw a couple of those videos and was like, no.
The military is probably depleting. Everyone's probably deserting. And it's like, no, we should just be hot guys. Let's get out of here.
I'm done with these hot kids.
I think the algorithm found you. I think you hit just like the lowest level of success that like the pedophile algorithm's like, we can get him. We'll pull him.
True. It worked, dude.
You're on the spacey.
I
express.
understand.
You're gonna start
True.
pressuring dudes in pools.
True. Free Spacey. If this was the temptation Spacey was hit with. I wonder, dude.
Spacey did nothing wrong.
If you've nobody ever found wasn't he getting like a massage or was that Travolta?
Travolta got a massage.
Spacey was just getting it.
He grabbed a dick at a nightclub. Someone brought a 16-year-old boy into a nightclub, and I think Spacey grabbed his dick. He got Terry Crews at a nightclub.
Dude, think of a 16-year-old excited to be like, this is gonna be fucking cool, man. I'm going to a nightclub for the
Yeah.
first time. Like, Kevin Spacey comes out of nowhere and grabs
dude,
your dick. You're
Spacey-
you have 1 second to be like, is that Kevin Spacey? Oh, you got me.
He just rings your bell. He just like ding, pulls your dong down. Yeah, if you go to a Hollywood party, it's nothing. I mean, I've never been to one, but the reason I try to avoid it is because I would have to wear a cup. Otherwise, it would be like Spacey, Seacrest would probably finger my butt.
If they saw you trotting around,
Dude.
that thick ass.
After I just ran 2.8 miles. That's what I'm training
You
for.
ran 2.8.
Today, yeah, 2.88, basically 3.
God, it was like 1.5 last
I've been
week.
going hard,
You're
dude.
a robot.
I'm trying to get in there.
You're training to become a hot boy. You're trying to join the Sway House.
I want to get my dick grabbed by an elite. Be like, yes. It's the new autograph. You're like, can you grab my dick? And he's
Can
like,
you
sure.
assault me sexually? Thanks, Don Lemon.
He tells everyone the cup is for protection, but the inside has like prisoner claw marks. His person's trying to get out.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude,
That
you
is-
can definitely get snatched. You got to be careful, dude. You're going to get your dick grabbed.
People don't understand what we're talking about. Y'all don't understand.
Yeah, they do. They're
If you look at
Noah was all over it.
Noah's
Noah,
young.
were you a
Noah's
hot
their
guy?
age.
Were you a hot guy? Be honest. You're young. You're hip. Have you ever taken a hot guy video?
No, I don't have any social media because it's for faggots.
Oh no! Jesus Christ!
Whoa, this is a
Come on, man.
come on. You're fired.
You're definitely fired. No, you just got a raise. You get extra slices of pizza for that.
So is that what the youth are all about? That like social media is just completely stupid?
No, like they're like into it. I don't know. I just think it's gay, so I don't do it.
Man, I hate those fucking kids so much.
Really?
Yeah, it bothers me.
See, that's the thing. I've been on a really kind of non-judgmental, non-evaluative kick, but I see that and I'm like, that's not good. It's not a good thing. What those boys are doing, I'm like, it's not good. It's not good for anyone. Your young men can't be being hot girls.
They're just chicks.
No democracy can flourish with that. I mean, it's happened
Although
before.
I do believe that's how democracies started.
No, I think that's the peak of a democracy when
Yeah.
all the boys are like, oh, we'll just be hot chicks now. And it's like, here comes the dark age.
No,
Yeah.
this is just the newest version of them consolidating pussy. Like,
That is the 1%.
yeah, well,
They have 99% of
it's
the
been
pussy.
like disproportionate forever. There's been like
They're pussy elites.
top level dudes have been
The pussy elites.
getting everybody pregnant as far back as human. I might be making this up, but
No.
I think I read it somewhere.
You're right. I know this for a fact. Go on.
So this is just the next evolution. Well, before it was like, I'm the strongest, I can provide the most resources. And now it's like, I'm the gayest, give me all the pussy.
Now I'm so gay.
True. That's a safe bet, though. You need a nice, stable, gay husband. Otherwise, like a fucking maverick. I mean,
Well, eventually one of them's
not
gonna
only
be
we
just
can
gay.
lose it all at any minute, dude. We're not,
Not only gay, also wigger. It's the ultimate combo. A gay wigger that dances well with abs.
Justin Timberlake.
Exactly. It's been a blueprint forever. Bieber, Timberlake, all the gayest white dudes somehow transformed to black guy.
Or it's just they get paid.
True. Once you get paid, you definitely be.
No, I'm saying that you can make a ton of money. It's highly profitable. To
Yeah.
see that dude, whoever that guy's sidekick, Taylor, it's like, Bieber is a billionaire. So if you just emulate Bieber or just turn up the sauce on what Bieber's doing.
You used to have
Bieber's
to
now a
make
family man.
But you used to have to
True.
make embarrassing music. Now you just lip sync.
Embarrassing.
to-
Yeah. Well,
I wonder,
Bieber.
do rappers know how much of their work is just going into making money for white twinks?
That's what I was thinking.
Do like dick burpees and
Like,
sweatpants.
that's what I was saying. Does Gucci Mane know about this?
Gucci Mane's gonna be
Gucci
pissed.
Mane will be furious. Dude, I'd be fucking ticked. If I was Gucci Mane
He'd be talked.
and people.
Come on, here we go. Haha, I'm so filled with cum. Are you in 8th grade?
Dude, these are like hyper boy bands. Boy
They are.
bands were a psyop. Basically, they're like to get in and like boy bands would get your 13-year-old daughter horny, and then you'd have to pay $200 to bring them to a concert.
Yes,
It's kind of disgusting.
it is disgusting.
It's a fucked up business model.
well, that
it
goes
is.
back to like
They would
the Beatles.
torture your 13-year-old, 12-year-old daughter into like going and see, like, we got to go see like the Liquid Town.
That does
One
go-
band was called
Yeah.
Liquid Dreams.
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
O Town. We got to see Orgasm Town, Dad. And you're like, how much is this? $116. You're like, Jesus.
Just for
fucking
you and your
Christ.
friends to definitely masturbate during the sleepover.
Yeah, yeah, dude. It's fucked up. I mean, dude, you're speaking. That's facts.
It's disgusting facts.
But
That's what makes the.
That was the market you were dealing with.
Yeah.
And then you would take, again, we got rid of ritual virgin sacrifice, and then we started taking, like, Britney Spears. She's 15, 16 years old. You display her body for the world, and then, like, slowly she just gets completely excavated by just people just shitting on her and fucking with her, and they lose their minds. Christina Aguilera, I don't know what happened. She got, like, kind of fat, but maybe she lost her mind, too.
Definitely lost their mind.
They
They
don't
all,
lo-
you definitely lose your mind. They
You
all
can't
lost their
hand a
mind.
16-year-old keys to a kingdom that they have no control of, and then expect them not to completely fucking wig out. Dude, they're basically like slaves.
They all got molested too. I was watching a Dan
Did they?
Schneider YouTube documentary yesterday, and every single one of them.
Had to have got. I mean, Bieber's got his dick. Bieber had his dick grabbed enough where he's like enough, and he became a Christian. Like Britney Spears couldn't take the day off. I think Britney Spears, they were like, nah,
That's gonna be like if Bieber becomes a full like elite Christian and becomes like a saint,
he's doing this already.
he's gonna have a pretty cool like turn, like Paul,
Oh, dude.
like Paul on the road to Damascus or whatever,
I mean,
wherever
dude,
he was going, where he like God came down and was like stop being bad.
yeah, and he was
So-
like, he was
Saint
beat-
Bieber's is gonna be like his dick was tortured by the devil.
dude. Paul was beating someone's ass. I think Paul was just beating people.
Yeah, but I think
up.
Paul was fucking up Christians. I think that was like his
I think
job.
So. I think he was. I think he was getting after it. But yeah, dude,
Anyway.
there's definitely. We had this whole period when we grew up of boy bands, and like that kind of fizzled. That was a sick thing. We were.
I have a horrible confession to make.
What?
At a slumber party one time, me and my boys discussed the possibility of us creating a boy band,
It's okay. You guys were.
Yeah,
confused.
I think that was common enough that it was a South Park episode.
and then we decided not to.
Really, you guys were going to start, dude. I mean,
Noble.
Again,
It was noble. And,
you guys were
and
trying
then
to
we
save
all
some pussy
jerked
for
off
yourselves.
together.
Did you really?
Yes.
You guys formed a boy band, broke up, then
We
jerked
broke
off.
the, yeah,
Dude, if you guys had abs and filmed it, you'd be millionaires now.
the
Yeah.
porno we had was Butts Motel, and that was basically our Yoko Ono. Or Yoko. That was our... It ripped us apart.
That's what keeps all the boy bands from forming. They make their boy band and they flood the rest of the boys with porn, and it's hard to kind of get it together.
Yeah.
So you're supposed to be doing practice of like lip sync and dancing. And you're like, oh, let's watch Bust Motel.
Butts.
Whole band falls apart.
Butts Motel. It was a parody of the movie Psycho.
Did
instead of Bates Motel, it
Did
was
somebody just put
Butts.
their dick in a shower when a lady was
No, it
showering?
was a dildo.
Oh,
The
really?
knife. Yeah.
Sick. Great.
How hard? Maybe I could ask my dad, but like in 1999, right? NSYNC debuts a video on TRL, and up to that point, I think the little girls were mostly getting turned on by like your Jonathan Taylor Thomases and shit like that. Like
KTT.
boys in
He was just in an episode of
Oshkosh
Smallville, by the
clothes,
way.
right?
Yeah.
So then
Go ahead.
NSYNC just starts blowing up tween pussy, and you're sitting there and just the TV in the living room is playing a new NSYNC video, and you look over and your 12-year-old daughter just has like beads of sweat like forming on her hairline.
Oh.
And you're just like, what? And your entire life is different from then
Dude,
on.
well, if you watch, so I saw, fuck man, this was like 4 years ago. I watched, it was either NSYNC or Backstreet Boys, but like back in 2001, and it was like if they had done that today, they would have got canceled because they like very openly and like without any sort of like this is a little bit weird. They were dressed like exactly like they like took mannequins in a store that would primarily deal with like clothes for black people and just like pulled them off, threw them like backwards FUBU jerseys on NSYNC when like white dudes didn't do that.
There's a lot
They were
of
just
them.
like, oh, we're gonna fully dress you guys like black dudes, have you do music that's primarily dominated by black dudes, and they were just fucking it.
That must have killed
And you're gonna-
112.
That's
112
what I'm
must
saying.
have been furious.
It was like 112 boys, and they were just like, "Oh, that's kind of cool." And they're like, "We'll just have white dudes." The Elvis thing, they did it
Why
again.
don't we do it like more marketable? Dude, that tween, like the Beatles had it. The fucking I remember. I don't know how true it is, but
The
in
Beatles
the
did the same
documentary-
thing. Did you know that?
Really?
The Beatles took
Well, they did blues.
extremely black music and then sold it to white people in a country where they weren't buying the black version.
And then they Sergeant Peppered, and it was like, okay, now you guys are your own thing.
Now we're doing white stuff,
I mean, that was the next level
and
shit.
then Jimi Hendrix appropriated that.
True.
Call it even.
Even Steven. Well, there was Elvis. I think Elvis was a pretty glaring example.
Yeah,
But-
there was a thing. There was a documentary on the Rolling Stones, and they were talking about how the women would go so crazy that there were rivers of piss coming down the steps. Like there was that much.
Really?
The women just started squirting.
Women piss like scared animals.
Yeah, like an excited dog.
No, how is it not talked about constantly? Every woman I know pisses their pants constantly.
Actually, did you ever like micro
True.
pee the bed? I micro peed the bed last night. When you let out your
With
first
your
stream, you go,
mouth
oh!
taped shut.
Wait,
Yeah.
you let out a full stream?
No, just like a
Like a jolt.
I guess a jolt. Yeah, I was having a dream, dude. I had a fucking dream.
Like
Sorry.
when you're done peeing and you can jolt a couple times. You
No,
can
it's,
jolt.
it's like the first jolt when you as soon as you zip and hit the toilet seat and let it go. Every time I'm awake, like when I'm about to pee and like when I'm sleeping, I usually almost do that and wake up, but I actually let out like a
Nice.
came back in, just laid on it and shielded the spot from.
So you
Brittany
pissed in
Hill
the
Drive.
bed and then hit it?
Very little bit, yeah, very little bit. Pissed the bed.
Enough
Dude.
that you were ashamed as an adult and hit it.
I had a dream last night that not all, but like probably a ton of my male relationships, the people in my life, were just like, "Fuck you, dude." Person after person in my dream, person after person was like, "Fuck you, you're a piece of shit." I went to like an old jiu-jitsu teacher. I was like, "Hey, I'm thinking of signing up," and he was like, "The problem with you, dude, is you're always trying to be the fucking hero. Get out of here." And I was like, man, what the fuck's that guy's problem? And it was you were like, fuck you, dude.
What?
Me, you, and my cousin Pat were doing a podcast.
Probably that's because you betrayed me.
Dude, so then I have a dream of that's why I woke up at 4:30 in the morning. All my relationships crumbled, and then I peed the bed. I shot pee at the very end. At the very end of this, I was like walking away, just like from my old
Fuck
jiu-jitsu
them.
coach.
I
telling
am
me-
the hero.
Dude, no, I was very ashamed. I was like, man, this sucks. And then another friend of mine had left a private jet, and in a spirit of vengeance, I was like, I'm going to use this guy's private jet. And then they're like, it'll be $1,500 to fill it up. And I was like, never mind. and then I peed the bed.
Damn.
And then I woke up to a text from you saying, you snake. And I just went,
Oh, yeah.
And I swear to God, I couldn't think. I was like, what the fuck is this in reference to? And I was like, that dream really I was so confused. And then I went out and ran 2.88 miles, dude. 28 minutes. So you do the math.
Yeah, I was afraid that when I said you're rash, you act, whatever I said.
I'm rash, yeah.
Yeah, I was afraid that because you were like, that's a little intense. I was like, I hope he knows I'm
No, so here's what happened.
definitely fucking with him.
Obviously. But
All right,
I think your game is you try to get an OL out. You try to pull an OL out of me.
Yeah.
So I started formulating OLs in my head. I go, okay, I'm rash. We'll fucking do this. And then I go, no, I'm not going to OL him.
No.
You love that, dude.
What are you talking about?
You've talked about this before. You get people to a territory where they just all of a sudden seemingly out of nowhere OL you, and you go, "Whoa, what the fuck is that about?" I said, "I'm not doing that."
All right, good for you.
I did laugh. I did
You
laugh.
saw my track.
In my head, I'm not rash, and I like thought about like the last 6 things in my life. I was like, that was pretty rash. I was also very rash. I was like, I'm pretty.
I don't think you're
I was
very
like,
rash.
That's pretty. I'm very rash. I was like, I am rash, and I put my phone down. I said, I'm just gonna go fucking.
No, it wasn't.
I wasn't mad at all.
No.
I wasn't mad at all. In my head, it was going to be this back and forth banter, and I said, I'm not having a
Rash
negative.
McCusker.
In my head, I'm like, I lost all my friends in my dream. I'm not going to fight or go back and forth. Dude, it was a horrible feeling. I legitimately.
I had no idea what you were going through.
Yeah, I mean, how could you?
Yeah.
I peed the bed, dude. I was so upset. This is a tiny bit, teeny bit of pee, not a lot.
It was a river of piss.
The bowling. I literally woke. I went as soon as I think I was peeing in the private jet. I was like, all right, I'm because I think this person was like, I'm checking the miles when you get done. I'm like, is that a big deal if you borrow someone's private jet and then like rack up miles on it? And I'm like, I don't know. And I'm like, that's kind of expensive. And then I peed. That was it. That was like what I was like. I got to pee in this jet, and I like as soon as I let go, I went, oh shit.
Be in this jet. Damn, that's a tough dream.
Dude, I never had a dream like that. It's usually like, I'm getting fucked up, or I'm in like I have a dream a lot where I'm like in a dystopian, like fallen state, but like never had all the people in my life be like, fuck you, dude. And I was like, it was me, you, my cousin Pat. We're doing a podcast. You're like, Matt, get out of here. I'm doing it with your cousin now. I guess I'll do jujitsu. My jujitsu coach is like, you're always trying to be the hero,
You're
dude.
a bitch.
And I
Dude,
was
get
like,
out of here. You're like,
What
fuck
the
it. I'm going to
fuck?
get on this jet. Damn it, I pissed myself. And then he woke up to me and be like, yeah, you're a real piece of shit.
These are the dangers of sleeping enough.
Yeah, man. I think I'm getting my REM rebound because I've been on like 3-4 hours for so long, and then I tape my mouth shut, so I got all kinds of nitric oxide
Can you
going to my
explain it to me?
Huh?
Why are you taping your mouth shut?
So you want to primarily nose breathe. So it's just better for you. It gets in terms of like vasodilation and all this other stuff. It gets when you breathe through your nose, it gives like nitric oxide into your body, or nitrous, whatever the fuck it's called, whatever that stuff is in it, and then they'll explode. And Viagra gives you boners and fucking muscle veins.
It's what makes you run fast.
Yeah, exactly.
You turn on the NOS.
You just right into the nose. So if you tape your mouth shut while you're sleeping, you only nose breathe, and it's like a better way to breathe because it actually when you breathe in through your nose, you're activating your sympathetic nervous system, or no, your parasympathetic nervous system, which slows you down. When you breathe through your mouth, you're more activating your sympathetic nervous system. So it's been found, and it's pretty widely accepted. It's better for you to breathe through your nose. But when you sleep, when you're at nighttime, typically you lose consciousness and you just go, and you're just crushing your dude. And since I stopped, so I didn't tape my mouth the one night. I did it again. You don't wake up with a shitty taste in your mouth when you tape it.
True.
You wake up and you're just like.
Really? Because I get a
crazy.
shittier taste when my mouth is closed after a long time.
Really? No,
Yeah.
for me when
I notice if I'm in a movie theater or on an airplane, if I have my mouth shut the whole time,
airplane
dude,
mouth-
disgusting fucking mouth.
Airplane
open a
mouth is
window.
different. Yeah, airplane mouth. I get off of an airplane and I feel like I just fell into
and my
like,
eyes are always just dark red.
Yeah.
Every single time I fly.
I'm
fucking
the same
wild.
way. I feel like a piece of shit. When I get off the
Yeah.
plane, wherever I'm going to, I feel like I need to like be
Gotta
like hosed
shower.
down. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's disgusting. I feel gross,
Hell yeah, bro.
but pretty sick.
Let's bury the hatchet from your dream.
From how we both feel sick when we leave a plane.
Yeah, man. That's a good thing to unite on. Also about how those kids probably turned us both on a little.
What are you talking
That
about?
incited something in both of us.
Who, those hot kids?
Yeah, those boys dancing.
Not me. Not me
Matt,
at all. Not me
I could see
even
the
one
way
iota.
you were pulsing.
I wasn't pulsing at all.
Were you pulsing?
For sure, yeah.
Thank you, Tim, for your honesty.
I'm being honest.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you, Tom.
I tumbled my pants watching those videos.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I don't feel anything. I watch that and I just
No,
feel like,
it made me angry. Not sexually frustrated,
yeah, just like
but just like
horny,
this is
like sexually violent.
annoying. Yes, I wanted to break into their house and take them one by one.
Felt a wave of sexual violence overcome me.
Yeah.
Dude, actually, this is really fucked. Did you ever see the documentary called Rewind on Amazon?
What's it about?
It's so fucked. It's a So this guy's dad apparently obsessively filmed.
Keep going, dude.
Keep viewership up. The guy's dad obsessively. No, you should dance at the end of the story. He obsessively filmed his son's childhood, and it turned out that the son was getting like viciously molested and raped by his two uncles the entire time, and his
Dude,
his
get
older
tag
cousin.
teamed?
Not even it
Dudley
was like-
boys were coming in there.
Dude, it wasn't even the Dudley boys.
Spit
He was
roasted by his
vlogging
uncle.
about it the whole time.
Only one of his uncles was no. So his dad. So apparently this is going through the whole family. So the dad was molested by his older brother, and his older brother was molested by their older brother, who was also an award-winning opera singer.
Classic.
Which was crazy because they would like go to these home videos of him like, hey, come here, and like they would slow it down. The dad would like look over and just like
I
walk
think when
away.
he came, he was like, "Oh."
If you tell anybody, I'll kill you. That's what he did. So there was, so it starts out and you're like, I thought it was just like a divorce. They're like, yeah, my husband always had like this camera and it was annoying. And I'm like, dude, is this guy really bitching about this? And then it was like, then I found there were sores on his genitals and I was like, whoa, hold up. And they slowly just unleashed like these three brothers were just sucking each other. Or the youngest brother was just getting sucked, but the other one was like, dude, I'm talking about.
Wait,
like,
is this the son in the movie, or is this?
This is the
backstory
dad.
with
This
the
is the backstory.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
So the dad was been sucked by his brother. Dude, literally, he was like, I'd lay on the thing. He's like, I would.
How old were they when they were sucking?
Oh man, I think it went on like into the teen. It had to go on into like the teenage. I don't know. It was definitely from like grade school age. But then there was the older brother who was like continue. There's the older brother would rape the middle brother, and then the middle brother would just suck his youngest brother. It was fucking crazy, dude.
Yeah, of course
So
that's
then,
crazy.
knowing this shit all would happen, the guy just, I guess, tried to bury it in the back of his head and allowed these people in his son's life all the time. And so it was like the middle brother was, I think, sucking his son. The middle brother's son was sucking his son and like all that shit. But then the oldest son,
The alpha suck.
the opera singer, butt fuck, he was raping. He was anally
plowing.
raping the guy's son, and they started raping their daughters. And then so the guy came out. Finally, the kid.
Damn, dude,
I'm trying to make a movie, guys.
How horny was this family?
I don't do that.
This must be the horniest family of all
It
time.
was fucking crazy. But then the
Holy
whole
fuck.
time, the dad, which I think this is probably why he did it, he had a camcorder back in like early. Basically, I think the kid's the same age as us. And this was all filmed in like Bryn Mawr, like the places they were filming. I used to walk through there.
You used to walk through the.
I'm not claiming fame, but it's like I would. There one field. I'm like, oh, that's where I used to get off the little train and walk to the school. They were filming in this field, but I think the dad obsessively filmed everything going on. I guess to like keep an eye on things. But like, dude, he just filmed himself basically. Like, the uncle's like messing with him, and the dad would like look, and they like slow down the footage, and he would just like walk through the thing. But the mom was like, dude, why didn't you tell me? So they were
I'm
like
lost on this.
once they said like
So the dad was filming his son, and his son
All
was
the
being
time.
raped by.
not while he was being raped, but he was filming like everything, like every single.
Well,
I don't know why I
almost
keep doing
everything.
this. Yeah, almost everything.
That's how you film.
He would just sit there with a camcorder and constantly all the family stuff. So this guy's putting a documentary of all of his old family footage. Then you're watching it, knowing these dudes have been like raping him and shit. So they're like, "Hey, buddy," and like they see the guy like looking at the kid and like ruffling his hair and rubbing his back. Dude, it's fucked. It is so fucked up. I'm almost done. Brittany makes me shut it off every time
Oh,
it's
is this
on.
a series?
Yeah,
No, it's just one.
Oh,
it's
I
one
forgot.
show.
that's a tough one to watch.
Dude, it's fucking insane how fucked up this is. I mean, I thought it was like, I was like, it was like, dark and twisted family. I was like, all right, whatever.
Yeah, it can't be that bad.
They haven't brought down the opera singer yet. The uncle immediately they went to
Final
one
boss.
uncle. Yeah, the final boss.
He's gonna be a tough one.
So he was like apparently a high profile dude associated with like, I mean, they brought him. He like entertained the Pope, all kinds of shit.
I bet he did.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly, dude.
I bet the Papa was fucking
He must have
ecstatic.
partied down, dude. That's pedophile Thailand, dude. You go to Rome, and you're just like, oh sweet, you can do whatever you want.
That's like Canton, Ohio. That's like the Hall of Fame, dude. If you make it into the Vatican City, there's a bust of you. Just like this guy, statistics alone, dude. This guy deserves to be in here.
Dude, it was pretty
He
mind
fucked his
bending.
own kids.
He goes to
They hang up your shop teacher glasses in the rafters at the Vatican.
he has drawings from when he's a child, and he goes through like his psychiatrist drawings, dude. It's like him as like an 8-year-old drawing, just like his uncle as the devil with like a huge dog, dude. It's fucking crazy. It was one of the most fucked up things. It's kind of a fucking joy killer. But
No, it's very funny.
I watched this and it was like, yeah, the fact that it was like, dude, the dad would be like, he laid on the couch. He's like, I would lay right here, and your uncle would take my penis in his mouth. And I'm not gonna lie, it felt kind of good. And like, dude, you're just watching, and then, dude, it's it's unreal.
Just brothers sucking brothers.
Brothers sucking brothers fucking uncles fucking nephews. And then like, dude, at one point the mom was
Just think
like,
of my uncle.
dude, the mom.
Me and my uncle fucking.
In my head, I was like,
So
is this
funny.
more common? I was like, maybe this goes on all the fucking time. Because the home videos were them just being like, like real normal fucking shit.
Me and my uncle would be like, hi. Like real, like.
No contact.
Hardly.
Dude, the mom at one point went upstairs and the door was shut. He was up with the uncle, the master total dude who would like.
The king, dude.
Who would pen. Yeah.
The opera.
The guy, yeah, exactly. The
Phantom.
dude.
The Phantom of the Asra.
She would go upstairs and the door was shut and she was like, hey, what are you guys doing in there? And he goes,
Nothing.
No, he literally goes, uncle nephew time. And she was like, he just said it with such authority. And the kid was like, why didn't you open the door? And she was like, I don't
Never
know.
would have guessed you guys were butt fucking.
If the door's shut with my kid and anyone's in there, I'm gonna be like, what the fuck are you guys? It's definitely an open door. It's like, well, you don't. Why would you shut a
For
door?
sure. I'm sorry. I thought it was the uncle's wife. I thought it was his aunt. that
No.
was checking on him.
The mom was
The
like,
kid's mom.
yeah, she's like, hey, what are you doing? And
he
then
was
the
like, it's
uncle
uncle.
goes, uncle kid time. She's like, what are you guys doing in there? And apparently he was just like, he had just fucked him in the ass and been like, I'll kill you if you say anything. And then was like, uncle nephew time. And then went down and like carved a turkey and had Thanksgiving. Dude, fucking nuts.
Well,
That's crazy.
thanks for having me, guys.
Anyway,
I
tell us
just- I
about the
just-
joys of fatherhood.
I just found out the Menendez brothers had the same thing.
Really?
Did you know that?
They were getting fucked.
I think this is a Netflix documentary. People have probably seen it, but when they were on trial for killing their parents, first of all, I only know about the Menendez brothers from Cable Guy. So I only know about the fake Ben Stiller Menendez brothers. So in real life, they went to trial.
Who
and
are
were
they?
like-
What do they do?
They killed their parents.
Okay.
They were twins.
Swag.
They were adult twins. They killed their parents.
That's what hot guys have to do.
And their parents were rich.
Perfect.
So that was the story. They were trying to get that rich parent money. But then they go to trial. They're like, by the way, my dad was raping us and we had to kill him. There was nothing else we could do.
But he was dead.
He was dead. And people were pretty dead set on these dudes wanting that money. So then on the stand, the secret move that they pull off, they're like, if you don't believe us, listen to this. I think like the older Menendez brother, I don't know, it's probably minutes older. He gets on the stand. He's like, I took my brother in the woods and I raped him because my dad raped me. And then they both tell the same side or the same story from opposite sides. It was like, yeah, we go in the woods. I'd say it's time to play. And then I would just like stick things in his asshole and suck his bird and stuff like that. And then the other brother had to be like, yep, totally what happened. And that's why we killed our parents. And then like that almost saved them, like because it was so horrific and believable. And then at the end, they're just like, yeah, well, you still can't fucking.
Yeah, we still got to kill you guys.
Yeah.
Did they
Because
kill
we
him?
definitely can't have you out.
I don't know what they're up to these days. I don't know if they're still alive.
Can't give you access to the woods.
Well, dude, the doctor in the psychiatrist in the documentary, he was like, family sexual abuse is a gift that keeps on giving. The question is, where did he get the gift from? Dude, it was just like, dude, you made me think back. Okay, hold on, no, let me rephrase that.
Yeah.
Christ.
It's just a gift that keeps giving. They're like, we're trying to figure out who got the oldest brother first. Dude, it's fucking nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's tough.
Sorry,
shit,
I didn't mean
man.
it.
No,
I don't know what reminded me of that, but I think that is
I was talking about hot dudes dancing for a while. Probably
True.
got you on the
probably got me thinking about the rewind.
sucking boys.
Yeah, Shane was talking about fucking children who can beat him up.
True, that's where it was. I think that's where it came from.
Damn, that would suck to go in there and get my ass kicked while attempting to rape a house. Just get jumped. Probably they'd dance on you, which would actually be.
They could be like Flight 91.
It would be Flight 93. It would be
Sure,
exactly
sorry.
that, dude. I'd be like, nobody fucking move, and they'd be like, let's kill this motherfucker. I'll be like, I'll crash us all anyway.
It's just you jerking off as you get beat up.
If I'm going down, you're going down.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get some jizz on you.
Whole time you're just trying to get into TikTok.
Dude, that has to be the opposite of like dads pulling their daughters out of strip clubs. Like you have to want your son to get into a TikTok house.
You want
Really?
him in.
You want them in
No, dude.
because they become millionaires. They're
They do
super
become-
hot.
That's dirty money, dude.
They do become millionaires.
None of them care.
I hate it.
I'd hate it, dude.
I don't. Now it's funny as a fat 30-year-old on Patreon to criticize these-
Jacked
as fuck,
I'll say
yoked.
jacked. Bulking, currently bulking.
Currently gains, so I can fucking. Haha. Me and my boys.
What song would you do?
I like mine with lettuce and tomatoes.
Just when you smile as you slowly show your butthole.
Yeah, the camera down underneath with my sack up.
Oh my god.
That's good TikTok.
No, I think. I don't know. I don't think a lot of. Well, if you're a dad and you're not like a complete bitch, I think you'd be kind of pissed off. The lack of principles, dude. I wouldn't.
Dude,
like
if I
that.
like wanted to play soccer, my dad would have been like,
Yeah.
"You're gay."
Oh,
These
dude.
kids they're dancing.
Dude, my friend got bullied out of playing soccer by his dad.
Yeah, you can't.
Literally called him a foot fairy until he played football. he got. I was in the car when this happened.
Whew.
He like mentioned like, yeah, but I kind of like soccer. He's like, foot fairy. He was a football coach too, so he made him play football. Bullied him out of soccer.
Good.
I mean, he's not in a hot guy TikTok house.
What's gayer than American soccer players?
I can't-
TikTok.
I mean, that's kind of it's kind of the
But
6 of one, half a
slow
dozen of the
road,
other.
yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I'd be pissed,
TikTok
dude.
of sports.
soccer, American soccer is definitely actually European soccer is the TikTok as well.
Well, from like an ROV perspective, I would say I would be pissed if I was a dad going into a TikTok house like that.
But times are different, dude. Your dad snatched
Or
your
if he's
fucking
ra-
hanging cross earring out. They're not the same anymore. Like there's dads pushing their
True.
sons to have.
That's who
esports
they want to be.
careers.
That's who they want to be. They all want to be Odell Beckham. That's the guy they want to be. It's Drake and Odell Beckham, except it's just white, and they're all so rich that
Yeah.
every Instagram picture is them with abs holding stacks of money to their ear.
Yeah,
Cocksuckers.
This is kind of, I think, a thing for the elites. I don't think poor people or even like middle class people could try to emulate this because it's just people. would be
Well, you
calling
can't.
them-
You can't emulate it.
You'd be like
But
kind
you
of
can
a crap,
definitely
you'd be
like
like a
it.
crappy house. You'd have like pimples on your chest. And you'd be
Yeah,
like,
you fucking your parents couldn't afford braces.
We should start a TikTok. This should be a TikTok.
No, this cannot be a TikTok house.
Why? Actually, I'm just describing the rest of TikTok. It's just autistic.
Billy's the only one of us. You might get it. You lost some weight,
Give me-
but
give me, like, 6
Billy,
months, dude.
Billy
Yeah,
could be our TikToker.
You think so?
He's probably got abs.
No,
He's fucking strong. If we
He's
got
strong
Billy,
as fuck.
we got Billy like shirtless.
not a PA.
Right.
He's strong as fuck, but he doesn't have abs.
If we got Billy shirtless and made him like seductively walk to the camera, like,
Billy could do it. He has his glasses, dude. Fucking lower them down.
we could make some money. We could pimp your brother out on TikTok.
We should.
But this could end up as like some sort of rewind thing where you end up sucking him.
True.
He gets too powerful.
True.
You end
Knock
up
him down.
sucking him.
It's a gift that keeps on going.
Yeah, the dad even rationalized being like, look, as far as my middle brother was to me, he was just trying to show me he loved me in a sick and twisted way. But the wife was like, why didn't you tell me your brothers raped you before bringing your brothers in our
Somebody
house
had to give
all
me
day,
head,
every day?"
bitch. I wasn't getting it here, so I went to my brother. He sucked me dry,
How do you chill at family parties
knowing
with
that
your
you've
brothers
all
that like
blowed
sucked
each
you
other.
and just be like, dude, they were doing this thing where you go behind a wall and go, oh, and you're just like, oh, he's so silly. And
Oh,
you're
he's
just
probably
like,
getting raped.
I would have to. I would spaz at one point and be like, dude, remember you sucked my dick? What the fuck? Just carving the turkey.
I don't know
like,
though. It's probably that same energy of like if you've hooked up with the chick and then you see her later, you're kind of still like, Psh,
Yeah.
what up? You and me had something.
I mean,
They probably have that energy with each other where they're just like, yo, you're my mate.
I mean, that's your formative sexual experience. So, like, you're fucking and you're like, I just want my brother to suck me.
Like it's never as good again.
It's never as good, dude.
I bet it's not.
It's your summer love, dude. That's your first love. It's fucked up.
I love it.
It's fucked up. It's fucked up. Shouldn't be on the air. I brought
Raped in my
I brought
ass.
possibly
Dude.
the worst topic up. We're having fun. We're talking about hot guys. I saw a documentary about incestual.
Tell me more.
Intergenerational
Tell me
rape.
more. Well, it was actually my brother. Oh God, please stop.
We don't believe you.
It was my brother at the beach.
Well, apparently too. That's what they said. The problem was you had the kid. The kid broke the ice because he was like, I think he started grabbing his sister's boobs, and then they were like, "Hey, knock that off!" And he was like, "That's what our
This
cousin."
is nothing.
He was like, "That's what our cousin does," and they were like, "Is that true?" And the daughter was like, "Yeah." The kid. Then they got it out of the kid, and dude, the whole family fell. The kid was a hero. In a weird way, he grabbed his sister's boobs, and that was what like brought this whole thing down. He grabbed his sister's boobs in front of his parents, and he was like, "That's what they tell mom about your guys' secret time with the cousin." So the cousin was the one who brought this whole thing.
Were
down.
any of these
he wrote up the
people
pedos. As
hot?
there's a lot of
Were
He
they hot?
started it.
No one was hot. These sound like very ugly people.
they weren't.
If they're decent.
It wasn't a hot house for sure. It was not a hot TikTok.
If this
house.
was happening in the TikTok house, it would be hot.
it'd be more clicks, more views.
It'd be so many views. The clickbait would be crazy.
Yeah, for sure.
Brother.
Two brothers sucking each other?
brother.
It's got to be on It's got to be on the internet.
100%.
Stepbrother sucks stepbrother.
Don't touch knees with
sorry.
me right now.
Those are
Tim.
bare
Careful,
knees,
dude.
too.
Get out of here with that mustache.
It's a charged environment. God. But yeah, man, that was Pretty
Fired
horrible.
you up. I
Horrible
got fired
documentary.
up. I got fired up this weekend. I listened to the smash hit #1 podcast in the world right now, Nice White Parents.
What is that? I heard about that.
It sucks dick. That's all you need to know.
What's the premise?
It's like the New York Times presents Nice White Parents. It's just about white parents ruining a black school by giving it too much money.
Is
Like,
this
we don't want
is this
any
like a
help.
serial podcast?
Yeah, it is. It is. They play like the jazz-like piano. But they're like, up next. And it's always just like, I'm Sarah Coral Sea Treasure Map Jones. It's just some bullshit made-up fucking garbage name every day. And then, the whole podcast is just like, it's just, New York Times podcasts are like, hi, I'm a wealthy person that went to Yale. Here's how white people stink.
It's like ideological
It's
hothouse.
fucking insane,
Yeah,
bro. It really is.
It is. It's like,
and then, dude, you should hear, because then there's ads for the other podcasts, and they're like, this was brought to you by, and it's just another white dork with his nose stuffed.
yeah,
Just being like, also, if you're having trouble sleeping, why don't you try Casper? It's a great mask. Like, it's fucking,
yeah.
it's wild. You got to listen to it.
Well, these are the people whose like families benefited directly from like NAFTA and like probably had slaves. Like they like had slaves. We're like, no, we didn't, and then we're like, yeah, let's sell out the labor force. So yeah, I mean, you feel pretty bad.
It's, the whole thing's about, well, it starts out about one school. It's about how white parents ruin public schools. That's
Really?
what the whole thing's about. White parents ruin public schools. That's the overall message. And it goes into how, which is like this. It tells a specific story about this one school. So I guess in New York, public schools, you get like drafted to public schools. Like you apply to public schools.
Really, not charter schools?
There's charter schools and public schools, but you have to like, you get to try to pick what public school you
Okay.
go to, kind of. And this one dude organized all the white parents from this middle school to go to this one, or this elementary school to go to this one middle school. He was like, if we all get together and demand that they have a French program, we can go here. It's empty. Nobody's going to this school. It was like half capacity.
So you wanted to wait. They found
POCs. But then this guy led like 20, 30 white kids to this school, all in one grade. But he was also a professional fundraiser, so he also raised like $100,000.
yeah.
Now they got mad because it was only going to like French programs and shit like that. But yeah.
So
What are you fucking?
he took a school. He basically almost made like a. He basically took a school with a bunch of other kind of rich white people and then used public funding to have like essentially like a private school kind of thing, or what?
Yeah, he just, I don't know. It's not like he was totally like innocent or whatever, but it was still like,
He
I
just
don't know. There was just certain parts where
they made like an Aryan Brotherhood for a school, like as a prison gang.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
let's just squat up. Let's get numbers.
all go together,
Let's
and then
get numbers.
it was just like she was holding white people accountable for shit that she would never hold people of color accountable for.
Mm-hmm.
She would be like, the white people didn't want to be, they were afraid that their kids would be bullied if they were the only white kid in class.
Wait, so when
And
did
then
the
Well,
school
they
get
would. They
ruined?
would have been, but yeah, go ahead.
How did they?
Yeah, of course they would.
Because it sounds great so far. When does it get ruined?
I don't know. I haven't really gotten that far yet. It's usually in like parent-teacher meetings, which she goes to and records, and it's usually like women of color arguing with like a guy named like Randy, who's like, we just raised this one. It's like, you are not part of the parent-teacher group. That money should be for all of us. He's like, well, actually, it's personal, private money. It's great. It's fun to listen to.
Well, dude, I mean, who of them would go to like the Philadelphia school district and just be like, all right, Chip, get in there. That's why Philadelphia schools are at a standstill. Nobody's pulling the trigger. Everyone has a house here, and then as soon as it's typically a lot of times, as soon as it's Philadelphia school time, they go like, let's get the fuck out.
Yeah.
That's where we are.
Everybody does it, but it's like, dude,
Well, that's what it's about.
go
That's
to,
what
go to
that's kinda
Philadelphia
what-
public
I'd
school.
rather
It's a fucking
send
nightmare.
I'd rather send my sons and daughter to a TikTok house than a Philadelphia public school.
Yeah, because they are a nightmare, dude.
And but also again, she holds them account, like the white people accountable for shit she would never, like she was like, and then this was a meeting for parents. It was voluntary, and about all the parents that were there were white.
Dude, this is for
Like
this.
it was.
Know what these podcasts are for? Rich white people who are.
Go ahead, motherfucker.
These podcasts are for very rich white people who go through a black neighborhood and get like very nervous when they're driving.
Yeah.
So they play like bad white parents and are like,
See, not me.
These are people who legitimately are nervous around black people.
Lemaire, who hates whites. Go ahead.
No, I don't hate whites. I don't hate whites. I've been through that system that you're talking about. In Detroit, we had to go to some place outside of the city to take a test to get placed in specific high schools. So I
You go to Cass Tech?
yeah, I didn't go to Cass Tech.
Damn. Who else knows Detroit high schools like me? That's a Michigan Wolverine feeder school. Notre Dame needs to get some people out of there.
I wasn't good enough to go there.
So you took the test. You took the
I took the
standardized test.
Yeah.
Where'd they
And
put you?
They
The blackest.
yeah, they put me in.
That's how they
yeah,
send you to
yeah.
schools. They're like, well, if you do real bad, we send you to the blackest school.
They were going to send me to a terrible school, but it wasn't because of like the test. It was because of where I lived. So we moved to Pennsylvania after that.
Wow.
So what do they do? Like hold the test and look at you, and they're like,
No, it's just like a standardized test. Like in black schools, they train you. Well, in Detroit, our whole like schooling was so we can take this test.
Standardized test.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do that here.
Yeah,
they do that in honky
no,
schools.
but I'm saying I've been to honky schools, and it's not necessarily the focus. In black schools, the test is the focus every time.
yeah, we took the
Gotta
cat
get
test.
that testing up to get federal money.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We took the cat test, and it was just kind of like, hey guys, like they would take like 3 weeks and be like, hey, we're gonna take these tests. It was Catholic school, so they're like, what the fuck ever. We could not do these. Nobody would give a fuck.
Yeah, true. I went to Catholic school as well.
Cat test, I kind of phoned those in. Cat test,
Definitely phoned those
and
in.
my SATs. I took them once. I was one and done.
Yeah.
Didn't take any prep.
I
just
went
went
and done
like,
them too.
Cat tests were my moment.
Yeah, bro.
That's what I'm talking about.
Come on
bro.
now.
Fucking powerful
That's
shit.
what we do. What'd you do? You probably didn't even take the SATs, you fucking blue collar loser.
I did take them.
What'd you get?
You smart. What'd you get?
Let's show our dicks.
I think it was like 1180. It wasn't great.
Fuck.
1170.
Phoebe. I got 1170.
Dude,
I didn't
dude,
prep.
hell
I
yeah.
knew we were both smart.
I fucking knew
You
it.
lied about yours to sound smarter. They don't give 1180s.
No way, dude. You have no idea. That was actually a disappointment because when it was time for cat tests in Catholic school, I went hard. That was my moment.
You crushed.
Oh,
was
you
the
wanted to help
only-
the school look good by getting.
No, I wanted to look good because I was such a fucking.
You wanted to save the
dork.
choir.
Yeah, like,
Sister.
dude, growing up in a shitty neighborhood where everyone was like doing cool shit constantly, I was a fucking Super Nintendo kid, and I was like, I got nothing going for me.
Stunned on the cat test.
And then they dangled the cat test in front of me. I was like, it's time to shine.
What kind of cat school are you
Damn,
working
I
with?
can't believe that's how dorks actually operate. Like, damn,
had
I'll have a
nothing,
Super
dude.
Nintendo. It's time for me to destroy this standardized test to show everybody how cool I am.
I didn't think about cool, but I was like, I need a win. I need
Okay.
a double
All right,
win.
that's pretty sick.
All I had was making the older kids
That makes
laugh
sense because
by
then
embarrassing
dorks,
myself.
dorks will get mad when you cheat off them.
Yeah,
I would go
it's
in
really
and
hard
cheat
to cheat
off
on the
them.
cat test, dude. I used to
Dorks
try
are
it.
mean.
It's difficult.
No, I just mean in general. There would always be dorks that would get upset if you like started cheating on their.
What kind of cheater were you? Like an eye hustler?
I'm a full fucking.
I'm an eye hustler.
What is
yeah.
that? Let me
I
see
never.
that.
I made cheat sheets very rarely. A lot of times I'd make
Yeah.
a cheat sheet and I wouldn't even be able to bust it out. I'd be so nervous.
Absolute eye hustler.
Yeah, it's a big.
And to the point where I thought I was really good at it. That's funny about cheating. I thought I was like, psh, I can read patterns. I'm so good at getting patterns right on standardized tests.
All it takes is the first time you do it and don't get caught, you're like, I might be the best at this ever.
Yeah, this is all you have to do.
Yeah, I remember the first. Do you remember the first time you cheated on a test?
I do.
I remember mine. Mine was a reading class that I was. We had like trailers. So we had a school, like a little Catholic school. Then they just started like adding different trail. We had like a reading
Yeah.
trailer, a library trailer, the nurse trailer. Nurse trailer was fucking sick. But I would go to a reading trailer for class and would sit there. We did computers, and I remember just being like, "Fuck, I think I missed that part of the story," and being like, "I wonder if she knows." And I looked over and I was like, she seems pretty confident and copied. And I was like, it's awesome. I was like, oh, that's good to know. I can just do that. I remember being little and being like, well, it's good to know I got some backups.
Yeah. That is nice. When was your first cheating?
So all through 8th grade, I was in Catholic school, and I was a good boy, dude, super smart. But then my mom got addicted to pills, and I turned. Fuck. And
Yeah.
so after 8th grade, we couldn't afford Catholic school anymore, so they were about to feed me to the Philadelphia public school system.
You started.
And I lived in fucking Kensington, so it was like,
yeah, you were fighting for your life, dude.
well, so I took the standardized testing that year and ended up getting into a magnet school in Northeast Philly.
Damn.
I was like, holy shit, I'm saved. And then again, obviously my life fell apart. So then I start 9th grade, and the first English test I have, I was like, I can't do this, dude. I'm not gonna be able to fucking keep up. And I looked over, and I'll never forget this fucking girl's face. And I looked at her test for like one answer, and she went, "Could you not look at my answers?"
Bitch. They're the worst.
and so I never.
Fuck.
Cheating never caught on with me. I ended up just doing bad.
See, dude, the funniest thing, you're telling, I was in second grade. I remember just being like, oh, sweet. I was just a piece of shit.
Yeah, I think I cheated on some spelling tests back in the day.
Yeah.
I remember this one kid fainted during a finals in high school, and I just took this dork's test. A kid fainted. So there was medical attention on that kid. So I stole this kid's test, and he was like, "No." Like, he was literally like saying no, and I was like, "Dude, shut the fuck up!" And just like every single exact same answer.
The best Catholic school hack was to just, if you were like a sick day for the test, let someone else take the test, get the grades back, write down the answers.
We've had this conversation.
Then you took it out in the hallway.
Yes.
And you were just like,
dude, we've had this conversation.
Yeah, fucking rules.
Algebra, I had a teacher that would give you multiple choice algebra, same tests to both classes. Mm-hmm. So there was kids in the first class that would just type it in their calculator, what every single answer was, and then give you the calculator.
Yep.
My average in the class was like a 98. Like I was killing this class, and I think I was already committed to Army. So this teacher thought I was like the real deal. He was like, this guy's gonna be a fucking general. He's 98%. He's the captain of the football team. This guy's incredible. And then it was a recruiting thing. I missed the class because I had to go talk to like a coach or something, and then came back and he was like, "Oh, here's a makeup test," and it wasn't multiple choice. It was just show the math. Dude, I didn't know 1 ounce of how to do it.
Oh my god!
I wrote the number 3 for the answer on every answer. I wrote 3 and gave it back to him.
What did he say?
And he was like, "We got to talk because you got a 0."
I got PTSD. I'm going to West Point.
I would have faked autism. Like, I'm not really a work on paper kind
I
of guy.
tried a beautiful mind.
He didn't. What was sick was he loved Notre Dame football.
Nice.
He was a troop. He was a former troop, and he was a geezer. He was just like, "I'm not going to tell anybody about this.
Yeah.
We're just not going to give you this test." And just
Damn.
the guy was the man. I think he died.
Was this post 9/11?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Post 9/11.
He's like,
dude.
"Look, we need
This guy
you."
was like, "We need this beefy motherfucker out there setting those Arabs straight with his math."
Yeah. Sorry, sir. I was just so focused on turning that shithole into a parking lot.
That's so funny.
This stays between us.
He never forgot you through algebra. He just never forgot. And it was like, yeah, let him through a fucking.
Yeah, dude. He was about to fail me and then thought of those planes.
He was like looking at your. He was looking at all your threes, and it was just like an overlay of like the Twin Towers, Osama from a cave being like, oh, and he was like, fuck this test, dude. Get over there.
You're
going to
go fuck those kids up.
You're failing a future U.S. Army soldier.
Man.
I think about that sometimes. If you had just fully went through that and you
It's
were just
crazy.
a general right now,
I'd tell you what, I'd have better posture. I wouldn't be hunched over like Winston Churchill.
it's never too late to become a general.
True.
You can still become a general, dude.
I'd have some good tactics.
Dude, that would be fucking
I would
sick.
send Hype House to ISIS and be like,
Ooh, they like that, dude.
what you gonna do with it?
No, they love bocce
That
boy.
might-
I think it's called bocce
Decoy.
bazi.
That
man.
would...
How would
They
destabilize them?
they would spontaneously combust. They would suicide bomb on the spot. They would premature ejaculate, suicide bomb, dude. Do you think they call that a pre-jack? Do you think they joke about it like before you get into the school, your vest explodes?
That has to
Like,
be.
oh, he fucking I'm in pre-jack, dude.
That has to be a joke over there, pretending you have a bomb on you. Just kidding.
Yeah, I got you.
Come on.
Just a little
guy.
alarm clock. It's like a little Flavor Flav situation. They're like,
You know me.
it has to be a joke.
Just playing games.
Someone has to play that.
They
hard
do
over
that
there.
here. Arab dudes do that here. That's like a YouTuber joke.
Can I have a bomb?
For Arab dudes to be in a room and scream Allah Akbar, and everyone fucking runs out, and then they're like, haha, got him, subscribe.
There's a really old ISIS dude doing uncle jokes. He pulls it open. It's like a full cuckoo clock. He's like, I'm just playing with it.
No, there's a video I just watched of a dude doing that, and then going outside. He was like, haha, got him, fucking idiots. And then he walks outside, and it's a cop. He's like, freeze, get the fuck on the ground. He's like, what? For what, dude? What?
It was a prank, bro.
Yeah.
Cop's like, guns fake, gotcha.
Yeah, guys, that's not very funny, is it?
Yeah, I always love those pranks where the guys put on a mask and like scare women into thinking they're raping them in a parking garage, and they're like, "You're trapped on an elevator with me." and I haven't
Dude saying
checked
the
your mask."
N-word is my favorite. Or
Is
like
it?
going up or like saying something fucked up at like a court. Just getting beat up by black dudes seemed to be a prank That seemed to be a YouTube show for a minute.
There was guys who would do that.
Lots
Yes.
of like Israeli and Eastern European dudes doing it.
Yes, exactly right. That's exactly who was doing it. Eastern Europeans just tossing it out and just getting walloped.
Whoa, bro. This
Yes,
is a
and
prank.
immediately
Whoa,
would say
bro.
something like-
be like, that's a camera.
They would walk up
over
to
there.
like a couple walking down the street, and be like, "Bro, I want to fuck your girl." And I'm like, they would just start throwing punches, like, "Bro, it's a prank, bro. Bro,
That's a prank. That's a camera there. And then sometimes the guy who's throwing punches would be like, fuck. You got me.
Well, it's also probably relieved you don't have to get like an assault charge and beat some guy up.
I don't know. I think I'd be even angrier if somebody was like, there's a hidden camera there.
Yeah, true.
I'd be like, what the
What
fuck,
the
dude?
f-
I thought
I
you were
punch
just
two people.
retarded.
You got to Godfather the camera. You got to smash that.
True.
Go up and just be like, motherfucker.
Yeah. That's a fair
Some
point.
guy's like, I'm gonna lick your wife's butthole. Like, dude.
Yo, there's a camera right over there. We were just trying to freak you out.
They would also go. Up
I
and,
was
like,
just trying to make you snap violently in public for my amusement so I could get views.
They would also go up and just assault women. They would just go up and start fucking making out with girls.
Yeah, which
Really?
had to be fake.
Yeah.
Unless these boys, well, I mean, they are Eastern European, dude.
It's
If
like,
you're
it's-
Russian enough, you'll just...
you'll definitely grab a chick's ass and be like, no, just
The closer
relax.
you get to Moscow, the more likely
He's
you
prank. He's prank.
This is
bro.
fun for us in
If you
pranks.
do not have big reaction, my whole village starves. Please freak out, please. We need this.
They
I'm
crawled
going
so TikTokers could walk, dude.
Oh,
They
for
did.
sure.
They were out. They were just standing on skyscrapers.
They were
doing
testing
like
the waters with the
handstands.
haircuts and shit.
They were. You're exactly right. Track pants, no shirt, doing
yeah.
pull-ups on a crane.
Yep, yeah,
1,000
dude,
feet up.
falling the fuck off.
Yeah.
They're like, dude, we can't keep doing pull-ups on cranes and dying. We have
American
to
TikTokers
just,
are so
we gotta just
fucking
trap
soft
we
compared
gotta-
to what they have.
It's like the space program.
Those dudes
dude.
die constantly.
They're the first ones to just like jack a woman up with a form in an elevator. Like, I'm going to kill you now, and they're like, I'm just kidding. Come on.
There's actually a camera here. That is the space race. You're exactly right. This is a Cold War of internet. Ours are just hot fucking dudes grinding their floppy dicks in sweatpants.
That's our Silicon Valley.
Russians are assaulting and committing rape, but for camera, very funny.
Indian or some Southeast Asian country, they're getting onto the hot boys bandwagon too. They do like very dramatic. Like,
Oh, the Indian
they might be
ones,
the
it's
horniest.
they're all in
funniest
like
shit in the
fast
world.
forwards.
It's the funniest shit in the world.
They
And
might
they all
be
have
the
like
funniest.
blue contacts in or something with it. Like
Yeah.
something ridiculous with it. Like,
And it's like a dramatic thing, like fighting over a girl, and then like one of them dies and becomes an angel and shit.
true, that's the new one.
Well, then
That's
some
a good
girl
one.
sees that and is like, I like your TikToks and blows you. And then you two just live. I guess that's what's going to come down to. When all the jobs go away, you just do TikToks and your future wife sees you. You pop your contacts out and she just like has a kid and your kid just comes out in the world just like,
Oh, man.
it's pretty nuts.
Yeah. You know who needs to be getting their dick sucked is those dudes who dig pools. Those guys. You ever
The
see these guys?
apocalyptos digging pools.
Oh my god,
up?
yes, dude. There's just some jaguar paws out digging. They just dig pools.
Hand digging, like
You would love these. dude.
luxury in-ground
They
pools.
just time lapse film themselves hand digging sick fucking pools.
Like a hand-dug pool.
And then like walking to like a body of water with one bucket and filling it up and walking it back and dump. It's fucking sick.
It's just for the time lapse.
The time lapse is incredible.
They do it all for the time lapse of them just fucking.
Yes, those guys need to be getting. They have to be getting their dick sucked.
Oh, dude, for sure.
My mom wants a pool.
Dude.
You gonna hand dig it?
But is it a hand dug? That's what I'm saying. Like, yo, is your pool hand dug?
Bro, this sounds like an assignment for the TikTok house.
This sounds like something Hype House would actually have the
Shat house.
resources. Shat House, the shit house.
Just a bunch of fucking doughy, pale
dudes.
white dudes hand
Just
digging a
dudes,
pool
like-
in central Pennsylvania.
Such a
Covered in mud.
I got real sunburn. Time to go inside and drink a bunch of milk.
Matt and Billy won't stop sucking each other.
Look at the camera. It's just Mexican dudes actually doing it. You're like, whoa, come on.
I think it ended up being like a production, though. I think it's not.
Yeah,
like-
well, a
It
lot
can't
of-
be, right?
yeah, it's not. It's not like
There's no way
hobbyist
they're digging. Dude, they're
apocalyptos in the
not digging
woods.
fucking pools by hand, man. They're
You'll
doing,
see.
They're doing a
No.
couple of things and editing that in there.
You'll
That would
see.
that's like building the fucking pyramids.
How do you? Who did that?
Aliens.
Apocalyptos.
Obviously, the aliens.
Definitely Apocalyptos.
Like, do you want people to
If
die?
all you're wearing is a cloth, you can do wild shit. If you're only wearing a cloth diaper,
True.
you can create
7
everything.
dudes pulling a rope can move anything in the world.
True that.
There's not
Only if they're in cloth diapers and sandals.
I guess if you want the feeling of like somebody dying while on like a project of yours, it's like that's a good business.
Yeah,
Like
all right.
the stadiums and guitar, be like, I mean, anyone can have anything built, but you want people to die while building it. It's like pretty cool.
You do want some
The stadiums
souls
of
in
Qatar,
your
they
truck.
like won the World Cup, and they were like, all right, well, we'll build 12 stadiums this year. And
Yeah.
everyone was like, you sure? How are you guys going to do that? I'd be like,
We're cool.
Got a lot of money, dude.
We got it. We're good.
They just immediately got slaves.
Nice Qatar parents.
Yeah, true.
They stuck a bunch of money
Fuck,
into
I
the soccer
fucked this up.
stadiums.
There was something I wanted to get to with nice white parents, but you should listen to it.
So yeah, it's them. Dude, I'm telling you, that's who it's for. It's for people who are too scared to drive through black neighborhoods without having like a borderline panic attack. They're like, you gotta listen to this thing. It's about how white people are really bad at public schools by like trying to make them, cool and stuff. And dude, it's
Yeah, it's very interesting.
I can't wait until you find out how they actually ruined the school because
no.
it sounds like they just made.
Bro,
I'm gonna
this
say, yeah,
is how it
exactly.
gets.
How do they ruin
This
it?
is how it gets very weird. So that was in 2015. Right now, the lady goes back to the school. So there's like a Nazi type school kindergarten called Success. On the
they
basement.
beat the fuck.
They don't hit them, but the kids are like super disciplined.
Mm-hmm.
And here's what she's excited about is the white parents have zero power. Everybody's treated the exact same. But then she gets upset that people of color are being disciplined by white people. So that's something she's got to work on personally.
Oh, that's her,
that if
yeah.
she can't see that and get upset, she needs something. The
She doesn't
podcaster needs
They
to
should
work
just-
on something.
They should
mentally.
just balance it out by throughout the day just showing them clips of like Jamaican daycare workers beating the shit out of white children.
Well, dude,
But-
there's a.
No, hold on. You got
Yeah,
this
yeah,
is
please.
this is where it gets crazy. So upstairs, they're obsessed with race at this school. So obsessed that they have a like squad that goes door to door to look for racism in the classrooms. So like people will walk by with clipboards and just peer into your classroom and see if they find any racism. And then all these adults that are going around classroom to classroom to look for racism in kids.
Adults are doing this?
Yes. These are the adults.
reverse
This is like
stop
a
and frisk.
committee of adults looking for third graders being racist to each other. And then they all go back together and report what they found. This one lady was like, there were groups of 3, and the black boy got the answer first, and the white girl looked to the white boy first to see if she should go with the black student's answer. Now, this could be that she trusts the white student or that the black student could be wrong sometimes, or does she not see him as a human being at all?
I mean,
And it's just like, whoa, what are you doing, lady?
imagine projecting that shit on a third
What
grader.
are you doing? Why would you say something like that?
This lady who's
Yeah.
probably has her own little weird things going on is like,
Guaranteed hyphenated last name.
oh, the lady?
Yeah, my name is Smith Steinberg. Janelle Smith Steinberg, the third, fourth, Polly. It's pretty fun to do, actually. I was driving, listening to it, and just reading road signs like NPR last
Yeah.
names. Be like, I'm Merge Right, Janelle Merge Right, caution, Berg Smith. Pretty fun. You can
What
give
you
it a
really
shot.
need is you need to nail the sound effect of them opening their mouths every single time. Like every word is like.
It is like ASMR for just white guilt.
Yeah.
It's fucking wild.
That's fucked up, man, to walk around third graders
That
and
was
being
what
like,
fucked me up. That's
why
what
did you
bugged me
cheat
out.
off the black kid?
Yeah.
You don't think he's a person? You're just sitting there, you're like,
No, he's wrong.
Imagine
He's
you're-
wrong all the time.
imagine your brain also at third grade. Third grade, I was mostly just my mouth open, like
Yeah.
it was like a full fucking like Blair Witch Project POV of just me like,
Just snot.
Yeah.
I always had snot, dude. My sleeves were covered in snot.
dude, dude, if I had to think about myself at third grade, I would just sit there every now and again, look at my cousin and be like, give him the finger, and then like throw something and be like,
This one?
and then eventually I would just keep like reacting impulsively till my dad would hit me. At some point, I would get caught, and my dad would be like, "Can't do that." I'm like,
Yeah.
Back at school, like, like, there's no way. If someone was like, "You're being racist," I'd be like,
What is that, dude?
well, first of all, I did have
I haven't even got to coming.
I did have swastikas. I had
Humming's not
swastikas
yet.
on my ruler. I drew them on there.
In third grade?
No, this was like fifth, sixth.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I had it. You know,
grad
those
school.
Yeah,
It's a Bryn Mawr. I had a ruler.
I didn't know what they were. I knew like people were like, "Yo, they're really bad to draw those." I was like, "Yeah, give me those." I was
Yeah,
like,
all right.
Fucking
Man.
10 more.
drew them on every- and I used to beat kids. I used to just
With
I had
a non-
ruler
with a
now,
swastika
with a
ruler?
swastika. I talked about this before. Yeah, I
know if you did.
know,
I feel like I would've remembered this.
It wasn't the like a.
So you were like
one.
a teacher at Success.
It was a geometry ruler too,
Yeah.
so it was 3-sided. So it was like a club. It's one of those ones you could do, and it was just like it said like bitch, pussy, and then it would have like swastikas, and I would just turn around, and the teacher turn around, and just beat the fuck out of the kid
Dude.
next to me.
That'd be nice if you could get one embedded on a kid.
Random on your ruler.
It was all permanent. That'd be funny too if that happened now and a teacher was like, "Holy fuck! It's a swastika ruler."
I have Nazis. Thank God, my second graders are Nazis. I'm going to be viral for correcting this. Yeah. Speaking of Nazis, I watched Greyhound last night on Apple TV. Another absolute crap movie.
What is it?
It's about Tom Hanks he's escorting a cargo fleet in the North Atlantic. Of course, World War II.
Yeah.
Why does Tom Hanks and Steven Spielberg just own World War II?
They do. What else they do?
They did Band of Brothers, Pacific,
Okay.
Saving Private Ryan,
Captain Phillips.
Captain Phillips. Tom Hanks on a boat in adversity is pretty good. I'll give him that. But there's the same music for World War II that they basically. Now, when you think of World War II, you think of this music. It's like horns, like slow, like.
I was just playing
glorious,
something like that in my head.
uplifting horns, and then like a God-fearing, reluctant hero that doesn't really want to be there. That's a great man. Like they went out of their way for him to be like boys with the black chef. It's a white captain on a submarine hunting vessel in the North Atlantic, and the black chef would come up and they'd pray together, and it's like, dude. Get out! Now he's not even allowed to be racist. This guy, this World War II murderous captain, they have to show him, be like, look how great he was. Well, it's weird, dude. I don't know.
You reach that point in a lot of movies where you get to the point where the main character like encounters like a woman or a person of color, and they're like, by the way, my character feels better about you than everyone else in the time.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
And that's the point of the movie.
And then
Well, Tom Hanks has like been canonized into that. He just portrays like elite liberal values, and he gets cred for that in real life, which is weird. It's like how like Jean-Claude Van Damme is like a badass, or like even Robert De Niro is
the number
classic
one
example.
Yeah.
Dude, him and Al Pacino were doing like Broadway musicals. Yeah, they're like, no, that guy's like a mob boss. It's like, no, he's not. He's a fucking actor. He's a pussy.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, that guy's tough. You don't want a problem with him.
Total pussy.
It's like you would wail on that dude.
Dude, Al Pacino was doing one of those like GQ like epic interviews where like sit like all in white in a weird thing. And Al Pacino's like, yeah, remember that, Rob? We used to do those little musicals, and he's like, and he like, you could tell he was trying to change the subject.
I remember those.
He's like, yeah, I might have popped a couple of those few things.
A couple of them there went down there, had a few pops. Just doing Tommy.
But yeah, that's weird how actors get like movie credit. Like that carries them, that follows them into real life.
Yeah.
They're like, all right, cut, and then like, Tom Hanks now is like a liberal hero.
Tom Hanks hunting, although it was making me laugh imagining underwater Nazis for some reason. They were all in submarines. Just imagining a bunch of Nazis in submarines being like, hi ho, hi ho, like, are there any Jews down here? There better not be. And then they would, the one captain of the one would get on their radio, on the Americans' radio, and just be like, you thought you could escape us? We are the Grey Wolf. We will hunt you. Ow! And then he'd be like, turn that off, god damn it. I'd be like, I ended up, like your joke, with cheering for the Nazis in this movie.
Oh, my God.
I was like, dude, the Grey Wolf rules. He's talking shit.
Yeah.
He's blowing up ships and then talking shit. He's getting on their radio and be like, you thought you had us? We will kill you now. It's great.
Tom Hanks like, stop talking shit on my black chef.
Don't you dare. Oh, they killed
I didn't know he was black.
They killed the black chef.
Oh, yeah.
The Nazis they cleansed the ship.
They sent a black...
They were like firing bullets, and one of them just hit the black chef. They killed 3 guys on the entire ship, and one of them was Cleveland. Cleveland got shot.
So at the end, Tom Hanks is holding his like dying body. He's like, I was always the nicest to you, right?
Wasn't it really cool how woke I was in 1946?
Remember that time like everyone was saying fucked up stuff? I was like, guys, knock it off. It's not even funny. I wasn't laughing at all.
I honor your experience. No, they dropped the black body like a depth charge.
Really?
At the Nazi sub, and they're like, ew.
Into an iceberg.
The movie ends by the Nazis being like, oh, this water is disgusting now. You ruined it, Tom Hanks.
The guy who's trying to die, and he's like, no, seriously, smacking his face. I'll never know your experience. No, come on, I need you to stay with me.
Stay with me, damn it.
I'm trying to win this Oscar.
Yeah, the whole, like, that interaction, it's kind of a short movie. There's no real plot. It's just the battle. But they infuse this in. They also infused him and his wife. Like, the first, like, minute of the movie is him leaving. Mm-hmm. So it's him being in love. Him being like, I love you so much. You're the most important thing to me. And then it's just a battle for an hour and a half. And they just, the wife's out. The wife's pointless.
Yeah.
It just shows you how he
loves him.
such a good man. He's
Kind of
very loyal, he
heteronormative for
loves
my
his
taste.
wife.
He should have like fucked a dude and been like, I'm out of here.
And
bitch.
then Cleveland comes up and keeps trying to make him eat. He's like, you gotta eat, Captain. You gotta eat. And for some reason, he just never eats.
Well, he hates Nazis.
But one of the bullets does come through and blow up his bacon, egg, and cheese.
What happens?
He keeps trying to make him breakfast sandwiches. And at one point, a Nazi bullet comes in and hits his breakfast sandwich. It made me laugh so hard. Just a Nazi like, like shooting it. Just Nazis, underwater
In the
Nazis.
scope, they're like, what is it? It's like some sort of pork with cheese and egg on a delicious roll.
Cleveland is delivering it. We will get him, boys. Don't worry. They weren't even after the cargo ships. They were just trying to get Cleveland.
Write that down.
They literally killed 3 dudes on the entire ship. One of them was Cleveland. I wonder if they were like, mission accomplished. We did it, boys. Time to head home. The Fuhrer will be so proud.
Were they down there looking for Jews down
They
there?
were down at the bottom. They were under the
Oh, yeah,
sea.
you said that. They were like,
looking for
not
Sebastian.
here.
They were looking for Sebastian the crabs, the Jew crabs. Like, is there any here?
They're down there looking for Jewlantis, dude. You know it's down here.
It's too wet. It's wet down here. I can't do a Jew. Can't do a Jewish accent.
You're good. You're good at German. Yeah.
Hold on. God, it's so wet down here. I can't do it.
That's how you're saying. That's how Atlantis ended.
Jew
They're like,
Andrews is like, it's too wet. It's humid all the time.
too many mermaids in this neighborhood.
Now, once the mermaids moved in, now we collect their rent, but we don't like living with them.
That was my dude. One of my mom's uncles was like a Navy dude, and his big story he would tell you, he's like, "Yeah, I met a mermaid." He always talked like, "Hey, what's up, Kevin? I met a mermaid out at sea. She was human from the waist down." Such a sick fucking
Yeah.
She
I
was
get
human
it.
from the waist down.
Yeah, I get it. If you were like a dude who was like, because I knew a guy that was like a military guy that he was a military guy in like the 90s, so he like served in South Korea.
Yeah,
He basically did like a vacation.
yeah, he bullshitted.
He did that. They like went to Germany and South Korea, and they were like, Psh, time in the army. But then it like that's your identity for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
It's like the 8 years you basically studied abroad.
Yeah, for sure. He had an anchor, and he would just
I hate
come.
to shit on those dudes.
No, I
support the troops.
He
but-
rules for sure.
I got cut
Also-
off by some people over this.
Really?
Yeah, there was like a Veterans Day or something like that, or it wasn't Memorial Day. It was Veterans Day, and I was like, shout out to all my boys, because I know a bunch of dudes who enlisted and then went to Hawaii for like 4 years.
Bullshitted around.
I was like, shout out to my boys posted up in Hawaii.
Yeah.
yeah, who did like
Which was fun in
P90X.
games until the Japanese.
True.
In the 40s, they thought that was fun in games, dude.
It's been pretty sweet ever since.
True. That's because the Japanese got what for that, dude. Nobody ruins party time in Hawaii.
So it's also funny to think about that guy and then that movie where Tom Hanks is on that guy's boat and being like, "Hey, come on, be nice to the chef, guys." Hey, come on." He's like, "I met a bitch and I fucked her once. And she was a mermaid because she had a pussy."
And that's now.
Yeah.
Imagine 1940s dude on a boat.
Yeah, this guy would have been like 1960s on a boat. He was on a boat in the 60s.
1940s on a boat, you would have been...
Fucking dudes.
Nobody came,
bro.
first of all, the whole time. So like, I'm not jerking off. It's gay.
I was thinking
Bullshit.
about that, too.
Bullshit.
I was thinking about that. Of course they jerked
Dude,
off.
less people
But-
jerked off, I think, than
Yeah.
before.
Not as open as with their sexuality.
Yeah, for sure. It was definitely hidden way more. And there's probably guys who were like, "I'm not fucking jerking off."
I'm not jerking off.
There was guys back then that
Yeah.
thought that was like, you were going to hell for that.
I rarely jerk off if I'm on bunk beds. To this day.
Oh, for sure. I've,
I
I've
sleep
cut
on
it,
bunk
I've cut
beds
it
a
out of
lot.
my life entirely, jerking off on bunk beds.
You got some bunk beds in you, don't you? Lemaire sleeps on bunk beds.
I had a dude who used to, he had, do you know,
Cleveland,
like,
Cleveland was jerking though.
That's probably why I wanted him to eat that food so bad. He was probably coming all over his sandwiches. This racist motherfucker just jizzed in his thing all day.
that
That'd
movie,
be funny if that's how it
movie
ended.
fucking rules, dude.
Movie sucks. You're gonna be mad when you see it. And then at one point he has like blisters from walking around. He's got like a bloody foot, and they're like, "Wow, this guy's really working hard."
He's blisters
Tom
from
Hanks
shit.
has a blister.
What do you
yeah.
have, like trench foot on the submarine?
He just has
Tom
a
Hanks
bloody
has
sock. Yeah,
bloody sock?
from
High-tension
standing and
walking
walking.
scene.
Yeah. It's almost entirely filmed in a cap, like the what's that called? The bridge.
Yeah.
Are you
Almost
talking
filmed
submarine
entirely.
architecture? Yeah.
No, not to the sub. They never show you inside the sub,
What?
unfortunately, because that would have been sick.
That would piss me off.
Underwater Nazis, dude?
What's, yeah, I was going to say, they didn't show him in the sub?
No.
What was it like? Was it like Bionic Commando, where it was just like their face and it's like, ah ha 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 ha, I got it. What the fuck?
It's a Star Trek episode. You never see the alien ship. They just come up on like the hologram.
They would come up and be like, "We know there's one in there. We will get him.
So it's like Jaws.
All right out."
Oh, that's so fucking funny.
Tom Hanks is constantly like, just so everyone knows, Cleveland is as good as the rest of us, probably better.
Chances are better. I know it's 1940, but you know me.
Cleveland, this tastes so good. Do you put like extra spices or something on it? It's the best.
What do you want over there? I see it. You don't like it when the White Devils are getting after it. You hate to see White Devils having fun.
Actually, the submarine's back in Detroit. Shut up, Lemaire.
Yeah. You
Lemaire,
hate White
what
Devils.
Fuck you up in UFC.
Hey guys, let's give him a chance. I'm definitely captain. Lemaire, what do you have?
I didn't have anything.
How do you feel when
You're
you see
just
Tom
coughing.
Hanks treat first off, he's a black cook and he
Yeah.
dies.
Yeah.
So it is clearly he gets nothing out of this.
Yeah.
It's just white people gaining.
device.
Tom Hanks being like, "That was my brother who died.
That was
Now
my
I gotta kill these Nazis because I'm white."
that was my brother. How
How do those guys say it down there?
brother
in
that
the
was my
kitchen?
brother.
What do they say in the kitchen? Brother.
I don't know how I'm supposed to eulogize this guy. What I'm allowed to say? I feel like he was my brother, but I can't take that.
It's going to be a long time till I get a good handshake again.
That was cool what those guys were doing down there. You'd stick your hand out and they'd hit it.
2 times if you're lucky.
Anyway, let's throw this motherfucker overboard. He's dead. Motherfucker, they taught me that actually. That was something they talked about.
Some guy's like, "Who said I fucked my mother?" It's like, it's not like that.
It's not like that. It's what the cooks say.
I didn't fuck my mom.
He's
Gary, calm. Someone's restraining Gary. Gary, calm down. I didn't fuck my mom.
I didn't fuck my mom
I
ever.
didn't come on the submarine and talk about fucking my mother.
This is what the Nazis want, Gary. They want you to fuck
I
your
haven't
mom.
jerked off in 76 days.
He's in his quarters at night just going, shit.
The Nazis knew the whites were getting too powerful on the ship. They had to get Cleveland. They're like, if they learn all the curse words, we will be sunk.
Did you ever see the movie Life?
Yes,
Eddie Murphy.
incredible.
We're at the end where he's like discussing his club, and then Tom Hanks like, and then we'll have a radio show. It's gonna be on XPN. I'm gonna be telling people at a black school. Everyone's like, "Oh my god, that's so cool. Why do the worst?" Tell us about it again, Tom. He's like, "Yeah, they're all gonna think we're not racist. It's gonna be
It's gonna
awesome."
be so cool. It's gonna be the 40s, and I'm still, chill as fuck by even today's standards, where I take extra special care of my black employee, borderline racistly. Racistly. That's a word, sucker.
Did you ever see the Vietnam War movie with Christian Bale? I forget what it was called, but it was Werner Herzog movie. But Christian Bale's a POW in Vietnam,
Yes.
and it's like a true story.
Yes.
Oh, fucking Red Dawn.
Yes. No.
no.
Red Dawn was the cool movie.
Okay.
Red Dawn
Where
was.
eats rice.
Yes.
Anyway,
A little bit.
Dawn.
Rescue
Dawn.
Dawn. Was that it?
so close. Yeah. So it was like a true story, and the movie fucking stinks. I hated it. I watched it on like a Saturday morning, and I hated it the whole time. But one of the other prisoners says like the whole thing's about like them escaping the fucking Vietnamese.
Yeah.
We can't. One of the other dudes is like, "No, man, we can't do it. No, like he's a nego.
Yeah, just for no reason.
POW.
That's why they eat
entire
the
time.
snake at the end. He
They're,
starts
they're,
eating-
they're eating gross shit the entire time. Like they're capturing maggots and shit like that.
movie fucking ruled.
Well,
Yeah,
no,
I
I
kinda
hated
liked
it.
it.
At the
Kinda
end
liked
of the
it.
movie, the coward dude like I think steals like the one gun they have or something and like breaks off and goes on and he like
Yeah.
dooms the whole fucking thing. And it turns out that was a real guy in real life, and it was like the opposite of what actually happened. He was like a heroic dude, laid himself down, and Herzog was like, my bad. And like used his real name in the movie and everything.
Oh.
Imagine you're a
Get
permanent
through
coward.
POW and then
How did they
make
slander
him
I think he was
movie.
mean to a black guy at one point.
Was he?
I don't know.
In the
I don't
movie?
know.
There's one other black POV, and like, we're not. Look, we're not getting shacked up with him. I know we're prisoners of war, but you have to.
We're
work
not
this
fucking
out.
animals.
Just
Dude.
imagine, those prisoners in there like, man, these POCs really got us fucking trapped in here, huh? Can't believe all these POCs are treating us so poorly.
They're all in there like, this was our fault, right? Yeah. Clearly, we did this.
That guard's about to take a smoke break. The black chef might fall asleep soon, and then we can get out of here.
I don't know. It'd be kind of fucked up if we broke out. Wouldn't that be us asserting like our dominance and authority or something?
Yeah,
Like,
can we let them have something? They can have us.
You know what? I'm going to cut my own head off.
Hell yeah.
Just them, just all jerking off in there and be like, "Oh my god, I'm fucking oppressed. Oh, I'm fucking oppressed. Oh, I'm fucking
Damn, true.
They
I
would
didn't even think
love
about
it.
how oppressed those dudes were in
They
there.
would fucking love it, dude."
Talking about POWs in Vietnam.
Well, if they
If you don't know about the POW
No.
experience, you
if
should
they
really talk
remade
about
that
it.
movie now, yeah, it'd be guys in there being like, "Damn, it must be really hard to be down. It's really fucked up what we're doing to you guys." Like, shut up! Like, oh god, oh Jesus Christ.
Christian Bale's to keep correcting himself. He's like, well, as a POW,
yeah. POW. Which, you're a prisoner of society. So
He's like, "Come on, man, give us more rice." And the guy's like, "Are you comparing your experience with mine?" He's like, "No, Jesus Christ, no, I'm sorry."
yeah, you can't appropriate rice.
True. They took it. They appropriated like
The
8
POWs were
grains.
appropriating the fuck out of that.
That was fucked up, actually. No, I think they studied and appreciated the culture.
They definitely
If you
got-
appreciate and study the culture, you're allowed to appropriate, but you have to do it respectfully and ask permission. Be like, I just fucking like love rap. Can I have my own rap show?
Where are we at, Lemaire?
Hour 15.
Woo! Hour 20? Yeah. We got to keep pushing a little more, and we just split it in half.
Yeah, man.
Put the rest on the page.
Take a break. Let's take a break.
Flyers are on right now. No break.
Okay.
We got to keep full steam ahead, dude.
Hell yeah. Let's keep ripping, dude.
Keep
I
going.
mean, I think, yeah, we
All
definitely.
right, fuck it. Let's take a break. We're going to the Patreon.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Let's go to page. We can split it up. That's great.